Going all gas, no break. Welcome to Canton Chronicle Live. I'm your host, John Camo. Some of you in high school, it was Canoe. Some of you knew me as Jethro. Most of you know me by my Twitter name, Dixie Enormous. And some of you are wondering who I am since you've never seen me before, and that's probably because you've never seen me before. Back in the co-host chair is Eric D. So as Eric comes on, you know what to do. Go to the fridge, grab your pricks and ciders, text all the cronks, tell them that Canton Chronicle is live. What's going on, Eric?
Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Hey, you noticed the opening had just the two of us.
Just the two of us. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's just the two of us.
I see somebody in the chat.
We do already. We have chat.
You went live. What is this?
Yeah, we did. We texted you in the group text.
Do I have the wrong number now? I mean, I texted.
I don't know. Privately. We are so unorganized. You told me at noontime. I thought I sent out the link at noontime. Yeah, Canoe. Because in high school, I already had size 13.5 sneakers. And they were making fun of me one day, and they were going through boats, battleships, this, that, the other. Asked me if Boozy. We don't know where Boozy is. It could be my fault. It could be Eric's fault.
We need Boozy though.
I'll tell you right now. This time, it's not Boozy's fault. It's probably our fault.
It's probably your fault.
We'll take the blame on this.
Listen, I'm not taking the blame for this. This is all you. On you.
Hey, Dennis. What's going on there, Dennis? Hey,
John, I just want to say I'm going back to my roots a little today.
Yeah,
and I'm showing you a background from my very first job. Granted, it used to be the Little White Store back in the day, but Cassie's Corner is celebrating their 32nd year in business, which I think is for a small little store like that to be able to keep it going for 32 years. Wow, that's awesome. I'm so proud of them. I really am. I'm proud of them.
It is a cute little Boozy. I apologize. I don't know what Eric was thinking. He was in charge of the.
Your policy was going so well for a second there, and then you blamed it on me. You were doing good.
How did this come about? How did today come about?
Well, that last night we said, "Hey."
You said.
Well, see,
you told me. You told me at noon. You said, "Put the show on."
Oh yeah, definitely. That usually means
put up the link.
That usually means let Boozy know too.
I thought I put it in the double chat.
Boozy, I'm sorry. Next time I'm gonna let you know 9 a.m.
This was
on the same.
It wasn't even at 9. It was right at noon.
Yeah, but you know.
And now I'm wondering. Now I realize why. If she was here. She was here right in the chats, and she's probably wondering, like, oh, there's no link. They're not going live. And we also never talked about it the rest of the afternoon because I was sitting there. I had to keep my phone plugged in because I was burning up the friggin' the screen record.
John.
Yeah.
We made the announcement last night. Boozy was with us.
She was with us when I'll tell you, it started off slow, though. Brennan will do that to you.
Well,
I saw Boozy on TikTok this morning.
You did.
The chat, Boozy, stop it right now. Stop it right now. All right? You've got the link. You can come in at any time you want.
Please come in. We need
all
the help we can get.
We even set up the screen for you. You're gonna love it when you come in.
Exactly.
We put you like right in the middle. Yeah.
Tell her what you really said about this setup right here.
We're like two boobs.
I'm the right boob.
Yeah, we're like two. No, she's not even backstage, is she?
I know she's not. She's like.
No, I would have heard a little bing. Yeah. Eric sent it to you.
Oh, I sent it to you, Boozy. It's a text from me. Let me check.
Oh, you probably sent it to the wrong person.
No, I only have one Boozy in my text thread. It says it was read, Boozy, at 7:59.
Oh, so now she's just.
Wait a minute, John. I'm gonna have to screen.
Now she's just playing us.
I'm gonna have
Now
to
she's just playing us.
that because I need
Now
to
she's
poop.
now she's just playing us. So Boozy, while we wait, why don't we play some little? We'll have a little fun. We'll have a little fun today. Before we get into the before we get into Jen. Before we get into Jen, I saw a few other things between yesterday and today that I'd love to share with people, right? So did anybody see? A lot of these are on the Dixie thread over on Twitter. You guys tell me what you see in this video.
Thanks for putting that red circle around what you wanted us to see. I appreciate it.
Looked like a pen to me, didn't it? That looked like a pen and a pad of paper to me.
A pad of paper. Yeah, there you go. Taking notes. Yeah. Taking notes.
Taking notes. I wonder where those notes are. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question before we get too into this show because I'm looking at the scruff you got on your face.
Stop.
And I'm saying to myself, how does it all come in brown right here?
Except for
this is
right
all
there.
gray. What's up with that?
Oh, this one right here, this stupid white
does
thing.
It grow in that way?
It's just so no. About 3 years ago, I had like 3 white hairs, and now all of this right to here is white.
Fast. It happens.
It's
fast.
growing sideways. None of my hair is.
Yeah,
I don't have any gray. It all started on this side and going straight across to right here. Yeah.
Was your father gray?
No. Yeah, near the end, but I mean, he was.
Yeah, that's all right.
68.
Well,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's not Boozy. If she would have. No, that's not her. Yeah. 12 inspiring quotes. I'm all set. So everybody's talking to Boozy. We were stalling for her. Well, everybody's talking to her. If you guys stop talking to her, maybe she'll stop chatting with you guys and come onto the show. Maybe that's the problem. She's in there typing away. You know. I got another one. I got another fun one. Let's play. Oh yeah. I was gonna play them during the show when we got to each point. But I don't know. Let's just.
Hey, before you play it, give me a quick. What's your thought on how today went?
Started off slow. It got to be about 10:30, 11, and I honestly didn't know if we were going to have a show. I didn't think there'd be any fireworks. But let me tell you, after lunch, holy crap. You know? I shouldn't even say after lunch. I mean, the friggin' Fed phone call. I mean, the Fed story. The Fed story was incredible.
Incredible. I mean, let me ask you a question.
I'll tell you, she's got a little set of balls on her. Give me 10 minutes. I just got to go freshen up.
And we don't know. We weren't there, obviously, but I'm just thinking they're walking up to Sock and Mom getting out of a car. Yeah, they're not pretending to be
selling solar
panel salespeople. They probably got their badges around their neck or on the hip, and maybe even an FBI shirt or jacket on.
Yeah,
and no, I don't own that house. I'm not Jen McKinn.
No, Kelly, I think I have that. Kelly, I think I have that one. Let me see. Is it this one?
I know, Julie.
Wait a minute.
And that's my story. I got a phone call in the morning, and then Carrie can say, yeah, I got a phone call as well.
As you said, that's your story, correct?
Not my story. It's
Those
the
were your
truth.
words.
It's the truth.
There you go, Kelly.
John, we need a producer, so Kelly's right on the top of the list right now.
Oh, Kelly, we'll do that one again because she says story right at the beginning.
And that's my story. I got a phone call in the morning, and then Carrie can say, yeah, I got a phone call as well.
As you said, that's your story,
Not
correct?
my story. It's
Those
the
were your
truth.
words.
It's the truth.
Do you think they? Do you think anyone said something about? All right, let's lay off the cross and the wide open shirt.
Well, 2 days in a row. I mean, yeah, that would have been an issue, I think.
Is that Boozy? Is that
No,
Boozy?
that
It's
was
not Boozy.
Peter.
Oh, that's Peter. Hey, Peter. What's going on, Peter? Oh, did he buy a car?
Peter, I hope you're watching. You know that we got a show on, right?
Oh, wait. Hey, can you pull her up so I can?
Oh my
hold on.
goodness! There she is.
Wait. I gotta go to the.
Oh, let's do
I
this.
gotta go to the Boozy.
Try
I
some of the
gotta
new
go to.
stuff. Oh, no, I don't
No,
like
wait.
that.
Yeah, no. Go
Oh
back.
my God.
Go back. Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
There we go.
There we go.
Hi, Boozy.
Wow.
Yeah.
How you doing?
This
We-
is great.
I know.
Wow.
I love it. You see, I see you were setting up. You were setting up your studio.
No,
That's what it was.
I'm
Oh.
not ready at all.
Oh, I was setting this up for you.
I'm
I
not
was like,
ready at
I'm like,
all. I'm
let's
sitting
put Boozy
on
in the middle.
toilet. I've been cleaning. That's why I'm literally in my workspace right now. I've been cleaning. I just got finished with Jen. My notes are upstairs. I haven't ate dinner. I gotta go pee. Can I go do things for a second and come back?
Yeah.
As long as you come back. With
Yeah,
a
we'll wait.
perfect
We got other. I've got other videos we can play. Hey, will you be able to? Do you have a present on your end too?
Yes, I don't know what it does though.
You
Oh,
present
what?
the video from your computer, and we can play it.
Yeah.
I
Is it
can
on your
present.
computer?
Yeah. Why don't you go pee? Come back, and we'll present something.
I gotta make food. I'll be in chat. Put me backstage for a little bit, and I'll come back.
We'll give you Tate.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll start it. We'll
Yeah.
start it. You get going, and then you come in for that second half with that when the big altercation comes in.
Or how about I just come back when I'm ready, which will be
Yeah.
short.
Dude,
Yeah,
we'll
no
take.
problem.
We'll,
Hey, I
we'll-
was 2
we'll-
hours late last night.
Yeah, I know. We'll have you anytime. I know. So tonight it's Boozy's
Time
time.
work play is good. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just happy you're here.
Make sure you clock out though. But when you leave, clock out. I'm not paying you for the time you're not on screen.
You did get a shirt. He did get you a shirt.
Did you want to see what? Did you see the shirt? You saw my TikTok. Did you see the shirt I'm wearing today?
No, what are you wearing today? I was at work. I
Where's
can't be
that?
watching TikToks while I'm at work.
Chat, I want everyone in chat to guess what I'm wearing today.
Jen.
Do you really
No,
think
the-
I would get a Jen McCabe T-shirt?
The Boozy King Chronicle shirt is my
No,
first guess.
that's
No.
tan.
It's tan.
All right, so
There's someone in the chat that probably knows what it is.
What Zoom meeting did they have last night? Who had a Zoom meeting? Oh, I know, huh? What about that?
oh,
What?
what?
They had a Zoom meeting last night.
Who's they?
The DA and Jen and
Oh, privately.
But
For
they also,
preparation reasons?
sorry, I interrupted you, Eric. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Boozy,
See, I
you
don't-
interrupt anytime you want. I'm good with that.
they're all saying
John
Taylor
drives
Swift.
me a little nuts when he does it,
It's a
but not
Swift.
you.
It's a Swiftie
Baby,
shirt.
let that games begin. Let that games begin. Let
Swiftie.
that games begin. Are you ready for it? Okay.
Hey, don't be doing that on our show. We're gonna lose all our funding.
She's shaking her ass.
The only thing that room is missing is a pole.
That's my
there
time.
goes. We just got a strike. Oh, welcome everybody into the chat, all the Cronks, and especially 1 hour ahead, Atlantic Maritimes up in Canada. So Boozy's gonna go grab something to eat, pee, wash one of her hands, maybe both, and then come back in a little bit.
See you
I'll
soon.
be right back. Give me 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
here we go.
8:30.
Drop it, give me
Good.
10.
All right.
Done deal.
Oh, all right. Oh, I thought she was gonna make me go do 10
Ah,
push-ups.
she's got a
Hey,
great
Brian
little,
Hill. Hey, Brian Hill.
I can do 10 push-ups.
Brian Hill's in the chat.
I can do them on my
That's more than
Pilates
John and I can.
Brian Hill. Brian Hill is the official photographer of Canton Chronicle.
Does a
Love
great.
Brian.
Really?
Just don't tell Allison.
Oh my God, we love them all. Don't do this. Okay, I'm walking.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
I just don't want Allison to kick my ass because she could. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Oh, geez. Look, we're like little records now.
Yeah, but she kick your ass in a nice.
Oh, because she's still on there. No, you know what we'll do? I'll just put her
Yeah,
backstage.
just put her backstage.
Yeah. Yeah. We won't be able to hear her though. Oh, crap. Yeah, we'll leave her. We'll work around her.
Oh,
right?
she's going to eat, walk the dog, do her thing.
Yeah. I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah, get rid of all those.
Get rid of us. Yeah, we'll leave her in the bottom for a little bit.
It's Dennis Sweeney.
Dennis is always on time.
Dennis,
You know why Dennis is on time?
Why?
Because he doesn't watch the whole show because he's asleep by the 11 o'clock hour because we can't figure out how to.
Right where he fell asleep, so
We
he catches the whole show.
We can't figure out how to end a show on time. Oh,
Hey,
sorry.
reality check. How are you?
Boozy, I know you're listening and your mic is still on, so we didn't kick you out.
She's listening.
Of course. All right. So, I guess we can get into the beginning. Let's hear the beginning. I mean, like I said, and when we get to some of my little onesies, I can post my little 30-second, 40-second onesies. You know, you can
Listen,
do that.
I'm following you, buddy.
Yeah, why not? All right. Let's bring up the Alan, right? And then let's get rid of this because I don't need that anymore. And let's
McCabe,
Good morning.
when was the last time you spoke with Carrie Roberts before your testimony today?
She called me last night.
What did y'all discuss?
She asked if my daughters were going to be staying home from school today because her daughter would possibly join them.
Did you discuss anything having to do with your testimony?
Not my testimony, no.
Did you
folks, I also want to let you know, in order for us to broadcast this, we have to pause it. I know a lot of people today online were upset with a lot of the YouTubers or the law tubers pausing the feed and making comments. But that's the only way you can play these is if you stop them. You can't just let them run right through, you know? So that's part of the reasoning we stop some, so we just don't get booted off of the tube here.
Obviously, unless the feed's coming directly from the court.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's the ones that take the feed from the court.
Right.
How about that? I didn't know it was a day off from school day. You could take a day off of school because your mom's at the in court.
Hey, there's no court tomorrow, John. Is this the big? And I remember last year during the first trial, they had a court day off. It was all the court workers had.
It is. Because
day?
the other courts are closed too.
All right. Well, they work hard.
It's not just Norfolk County. People, my microphone's not too loud, right? No, good. All right. So so it was a day off from school so I guess if your mom goes to court, you can take the day off and stay home and watch.
discuss anything in that conversation with her prior testimony?
No.
Are you aware that she testified last week?
Yes.
Did you discuss anything after that, after she testified with her about her testimony?
No.
We know that through her testimony that you had a conversation with her the morning that she testified.
Yes.
Right? Did you discuss what you anticipated to be her testimony in that conversation before she testified?
No.
Have you and Ms. Roberts ever discussed anything about either one of your testimonies, either in the last proceeding or in anticipation of this proceeding?
No.
So for the entirety of the last year, even though you both went through a proceeding last year where you both testified under oath and it was highly, highly publicized, neither one of you, your good friend Carrie Roberts and you, have ever discussed either of your testimonies between that time and this time.
No, we've discussed the case and we've discussed what happened that moment, the moments of the morning, but we have not discussed testimony.
Okay. So
Do you believe that? Honestly, I'm not just for them. Do you think that every person that testified, not one person went back and rewatched the trial or watched anyone else's testimony?
John, do you believe they're not watching every single day right now? I mean, I know they're not supposed to, but if it were me, I'd probably be watching. I mean,
You think the jurors aren't watching something?
I don't know. I've been on a jury, and I tried to
You
keep
tried.
things- You know, I tried. I mean, and it's. I didn't go home and do research. I did. You try to keep an open mind.
Hey, is that you? Is that you?
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
our friend. That's a friend of ours that's texting
Okay.
us.
Yeah.
You're getting the same text, by the way.
Yeah, but you don't hear mine, do you?
Yeah, I don't know how it's coming through the mind because I have everything on mute stuff.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Can you tell whoever that is that
We're live. How about we're live? I guess I mean, hey, I mean, people just don't realize that we have other lives, you know. We do these things. I don't know. I think if it's me, so if I was in a jury,
I know that texter was watching us too. It's not like they're not
it's
watching
nonstop.
us.
Yeah, I know. I love the ones that tell me everything to do too. Like, why don't you be my producer? Jesus Christ.
We need one. We need a producer. That's why
I do.
I said. Was it
I would
Kelly
love
earlier?
someone just to take over the StreamYard part of it. If I was on a jury, I don't. It depends on. I guess it would depend on the case, but yeah, I probably would just take it on the merits. But if I was someone that was, and I guess it depends too. Are you really an innocent witness, or are you someone that wants to know all the things that are going on? I know, double-edged sword.
I don't know. I mean, the jury that I was on was only a 3-day jury, so this is much different. But you get the sense within the first half a day what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
It lasted 3 days, but I was trying not to make a decision until day 3, but as things evolve, you're kind of forming your decision early on.
Yeah, like I checked out on half of the whiffing stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, it was too much, too long.
Especially
So let's
in
break
a
that down for a second.
Yep.
all I'm saying is especially in a case that's going to be at least 2 months long.
Right.
I'm talking about because the timing matters. I'm just asking at this point, if you'll bear with me, just the year from last year at a different proceeding to this year, you have discussed this case
Yes,
with Ms. Roberts.
many times, yes.
And you've discussed the specifics of her memory, which would be reflected in her testimony, correct?
We talked about what happened that morning.
So you were talking about what she remembers happening that morning, correct?
No, what happened that morning.
Okay, so not to put too fine a point on it, Ms. McCabe, but if you ask me what I had for dinner last night, it's my memory of what I had for dinner last night. Would you agree with that?
Sustained.
Did you talk about her perception of what happened that morning during the last year?
We've talked about what has happened, yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to break it down between you and Ms. Roberts. You've discussed her perceptions and her memory of what happened, as well as, and separate and apart from, your memory and your perceptions, correct?
Correct.
So there have been circumstances in which you and Ms. Roberts have compared, by definition, what she remembers versus what you remember, correct?
I wouldn't say compare.
Now let's move to well, what would you say in terms of what you've discussed and why?
I would say that we've both talked about what we've discussed, but it wasn't like a comparison. We weren't comparing anything.
You've talked
So, Jeff, are you saying Jen is a strong person? Because I would have to agree with you. I think a weaker person would have cracked.
100%. But I also,
Yeah.
I think there's a little diabolicalness to her too.
Jeff, he does what he's supposed to do, just like Brennan did what he's supposed to do. You're gonna get it on both sides, right? You got to. Brennan was badgering, and even what about when Lally, the woman, the doctor, when she had to go through the voir dire. It's what they. That's why they get paid big bucks, right?
Absolutely. And He's doing a good job. I mean, I can't argue with how Brennan is approaching his aspect of it, his responsibility. It's much different than Lally, and not to say that Lally wasn't decent at what he was doing. I think he accomplished what he was supposed to accomplish.
Yep, Marie Russell. That's her name. Yep. Yeah. I think all the lawyers are doing. I don't think so far any of the lawyers have done a bad job at all. I think each one, all of them on both sides. Do I not? Would I prefer Lally? I think I would, but then when I go back and watch some of the recordings, I'm like, yeah, no. I think I'd rather. I mean,
as far as watching it for the and keep your mind focused on it, I want Brennan. But Lally was effective in what he did, so you can't knock him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just wasn't somebody that was going to keep my attention.
Right. So, I guess the good thing is so we have people in the chat that are on different sides of this aisle, and I'm 100% okay with it.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Jeff. And as long as it remains civil, I hope that none of the mods kick you out because I think it's a good thing to have different.
Maybe when the opportunity arises, we'll have Jeff. We'll send a link out, and if Jeff wants to join us, he can.
Jeff, if you want to join us later, just let us know. We'll send you the link. But at the end of the day, if everybody thinks alike, what fun is the show? Right?
100%. And as long as you're being respectful, I mean,
everybody have an open mind.
Opinion. I've had these battles every day with certain Canton people that always want to break my chops and want me to do something that I don't believe in. But they're defending what they believe in, and I'm okay with that. I mean, we're going to have a discussion. We're not going to agree. But I can still have the discussion today, and I'll probably have it with you tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you to go F yourself. I don't ever want to talk to you again.
Right. Jeff, glad to have you on board. Whether we disagree or agree. I'm sure there's some things we'll agree on, right? We just disagree on some of the other stuff. So, yeah, welcome. All right. Let's get back to it.
About what you discussed. What does that mean? Talked about your testimony?
No, we've discussed what happened that moment and in those moments. So, when I got a phone call, and that's my story. I got a phone call in the morning, and then Carrie can say, yeah, I got a phone call as well.
As you said, that's your story, correct?
Not my story.
You just said it.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay. So, for instance, when you got a phone call at 4:53 in the morning, Carrie Roberts wasn't there, correct?
Correct.
But you've discussed that with her.
Correct.
And you've told her what your perception of that, your memory of that phone call was, even though she was not recipient to and did not witness that phone call, correct?
I've told her about the phone call, correct.
As well as many other details that she was not privy to personally, correct?
Correct.
Conversations that you've had, for instance, conversations that you claim you've had with Miss Reed, correct?
Correct.
And you've told her what your perception is of those conversations, or your memory was or is of those conversations with Miss Reed, correct?
Which conversations with Miss Reed?
Any conversations. Just anything that she wasn't privy to. You've discussed that with her.
Some things, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And conversely, Ms. McCabe, obviously, she's also discussed certain perceptions and memories that she has about this case, and the facts of this case, as she recalls them, that you were not necessarily privy to, correct?
Yes.
Things that may have taken place outside your presence, correct?
Correct.
And you've talked about things, she's talked to you about things.
I hate when he walks away like that.
Y'all have talked about.
See, you got to concentrate on him.
Outside of her perception and outside of your perception. And you've shared those with each other.
We've shared our experiences. We've become very close. We both lived through a traumatic experience.
How many times would you say you and Miss Roberts have discussed your individual perceptions of what you remember happening on the 28th or the 29th
Dude,
of
I am
January
live.
2022? How many times?
No
I
kidding.
am
It'd be hard to put a
live.
number on that. We talk about, it's hard. We're bonded. We talk about the trauma that we relive every day. Karen called us for help and we both answered the phone.
And
Karen
Okay.
called us for help, and we both answered. Are you shit?
Okay. Now, for tonight, and I just came up with this. Eric, tonight, you stay with everything that you believe in. I'm going to play devil's advocate just for a little bit. Okay? But what I'm saying, I don't believe in. I just want to put out the other side. Okay? Let's say, okay, it didn't happen, but let's say there was an accident and Jen and Kerry were both called in the morning. You don't think that those people, you don't think that those people wouldn't be sitting around the table talking about what just friggin' happened?
Of course they would.
Of course they would. There's nothing wrong with that. You get in an accident, right? You get in an accident, you're going to talk about your accident. Something happens at work. You know, there's an accident at work. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, what, you know, can you believe? It happens.
Everybody.
But if it's nefarious, then that's when the problem comes in. You know? Yeah. We'll go on.
that bonding is the glue that holds you two together. Is this case, correct?
Yes.
So that probably, by definition, is the foundation of many, many, many of your conversations. Would you agree?
We've grown into friends where we talk about many other things besides the case.
Sure, the movie you saw last weekend and what the kids are doing next week.
Yes, and yes, absolutely. We talk many different things, just like girlfriends do.
I'm just concerned with and asking you about the subject matter of this case and the details and the facts of this case. You two have probably talked hundreds of times, that's fair to say, about your individual perceptions, your respective perceptions of this case, correct?
This happened 3 years ago, and we've talked about it time and time again. This case has traumatized us, so
And
it's a
talking
huge
about-
part of our lives.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I believe it just, I meant traumatized our lives.
Okay. It would be impossible for you two to have had so many conversations about your respective perceptions of the details of that day without that influencing the other person.
Can we-
correct?
can-
You've somehow been influenced
Can we
by
get to
Ms.
the-
Roberts's
Can we get to
perceptions
the
and
solar?
her memories, correct?
I want to get to the
I would say
solar.
influenced.
Would you say that she's
The
been
vacuum
influenced
salesman?
by your
John, the one thing I'll
perceptions?
give her credit for is, you know, there's a lot of pressure on her right now, and no matter what's going on, there's a ton of pressure on her, and she's handling this quite well.
Yeah, she almost broke. She almost broke once tonight.
Yeah,
Today.
but it's a long day, and
yeah.
you're probably going to. But at the end of the day, she matched AJ pretty well up until after lunch. But
And AJ's the professional. This is what he does for a living.
exactly.
She's just the typical housewife from Canton, stay-at-home mom, soccer mom. Who, I mean, so as much as you know. As much as I'm on the other side, you gotta give her friggin' props for that.
You don't see her cracking under pressure, like I think a lot of people. I think most of our audience would probably be already, giving up the goods.
Well, not yet. I mean, she's only 10 minutes in. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I know. You know what helped?
I'd have been all done.
I'm sure that helped. Okay. I just, could have been.
Mother's little helper.
Yeah, well, that's that's what it is. We got to get right to the. How far in was the?
And your memories
Can I fast forward a little bit?
John,
No, I wouldn't.
Josh,
with anticipation of your appearance in this?
4 or 5?
Can you give me a time frame?
Oh, this was all
It was 4 or 5.
This is what's all
It was
talking
fall
to
of last year.
No.
That was them
meeting,
talking.
with Mr. Brennan.
Brennan and Lally.
Was there
Let's get through
at
this.
one. I
Understood.
apologize.
Yeah,
How many meetings would you have? Let's just start.
Initial one.
we can get it past.
John,
this.
next
So
next
that's either
time it'll
4
help
hours
if you know what
you're
times
at any
to
of
go
these
to.
meetings. I'm just
Oh, really? Like being a professional? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's why we need a producer.
I'm asking you about everything leading up to, but not including what happened.
I reviewed my. I did review.
That you were asked.
I don't believe so. No.
Was there a specific area that Mr. Brennan asked you to look
me,
at and
let's get through
review
this a little
in terms of your
Would ask me to point out who's
Yeah.
probably a poor word?
and
get
answer
through
it
this.
to the best of my memory.
Was there any discussion about talking about your background, for instance, your family, and
Oh,
your children,
yeah,
and being a
and being
sports
softer. They want it to be a
Develop-
softer Jen this
like
year.
a fake cross-examination.
You think she got a
or
nose
fake
job?
Direct examination.
No, there
Anything
wasn't. No.
What were
She
the-
got a nice tan.
Again,
No.
I
I
don't
think
know
she-
specific meetings.
No?
I can
No
tell you
nose-
that
no
there
nose
was
job?
a
No.
Or would you say
Oh,
all
Boozy's
of those
back.
meetings were?
Hi, Boozy.
I'm
Ask
just
you any
eating.
questions during
Oh, Boozy, how far in was the vacuum salesman?
anybody taking notes?
The what?
Because
The vacuum salesman.
I didn't take
your
notes about a
family said it's
vacuum
not just you
salesman.
and Nicole.
The
your whole
solar.
family. So very close with
I
Chris
might have
and
missed
Julia,
that.
correct?
She thought she mistaked the
I
FBI.
said select board member.
But-
Did I mention
but-
Chris,
Oh,
select board
that's
member?
far
I think
in.
in
Okay.
Canton, yeah.
Friend of-
That's what?
That's far
I'm not
in.
going to say how many years, but since kindergarten.
Yes.
Children, cousins,
Let's
second
find this.
cousins,
We'll find it.
nephews.
Oh yeah, the whole fucking town is related to Jim
After party that
McCabe.
we've heard so much about. That was at Brian Albert's house. Is that right?
Yes.
Let's see.
You've been interviewed. I think you indicated multiple times. You didn't even give a number of how many times you've been
Oh, it's
interviewed
coming up,
by
right? I think
police
it's
in this
coming up.
case. Is that right?
Yes.
Your family is connected to
It's
people
coming
at
up.
Boston
I think
Police
so.
Department. We've just
Oh,
talked
they're gonna
about
have a
Brian
sidebar, I
Albert. Is
think,
that
right?
No, it's towards
Brian's
the end.
was a Boston.
Connection.
Yes. but
John,
my
we're getting to a good
relationships
part
with
right
him.
there.
Understood.
I thought it was
You've
gonna be a
indicated that
sidebar.
you've been interviewed
Yeah,
by
it's not a bad little
law
spot.
enforcement agents associated with Massachusetts State. With Canton Police Department. That'd be Officer Lank.
Yes.
Can I
and
stop
also
you for a
good.
second and see counsel at sidebar?
Told you there was a sidebar coming up. I know.
Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, they were all laughing and giggling, and then they rearranged them after a while, huh?
Well, Paul was acting up, I think.
Yeah. They moved him over next to his mother.
They put him behind his mother.
Oh, this is the 20 minutes. See, that 20 minutes took almost over an hour.
An hour and a half. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So now that's where I really wanted to start this whole show. Was look at that. That 20 minutes brought us all the way into fucking. Look at that. All right. Yeah. See, put him next to his mother. Told you.
Yeah, but then they moved him behind her.
Oh.
He only stayed there for a short period of time.
Oh, these?
Oh, these? Yeah, Judge. These. Oh, then they went on break again.
In here?
All right.
Did you see what Keith said
No, what did Keith say?
said?
in chat?
This one
He
right
said-
here?
Yeah. Paul O'Keefe was told at break to stop glaring and staring at the Reed family, and Karen Reed moved his punk ass to the second row. I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Well, Jessica Machado said that she was downstairs waiting for something to go on with the court related to another case. And she saw Paul
Last
go
week,
in.
as with certain law enforcement agents.
Hold on, I was just fast forwarding. Keep going.
Yeah, she saw Paul go into the Michael Morrissey's office at the Norfolk County District Attorney, which is on the bottom floor. So he was being spoken to for some reason. Nobody really knows but when he came back, seats were changed. He wasn't in his normal position.
Well, I wonder if he partook in a little H2O beforehand.
My my guess is that while the defense was walking up to the sidebar, there was some comments made that were inappropriate. let's say.
Could have been.
He just can't help himself. He's just like all over the place.
We talked about Boston Police Department, obviously, Brian Albert. We talked a little bit about Massachusetts State Police and knowing friends of friends with regard to Chris and Julie, correct?
Yeah. Knowing friends of Chris and Julie.
Knowing friends of friends of friends?
Of friends of Chris and Julie.
What was that
Is
Beulah
that in
thing?
relationship?
My best friend's sister's cousin's nephew.
Who?
I had asked you about. I'll ask you a different question.
Okay.
A little bit vague. Courtney Proctor is friends with
yeah.
Julie's sister,
Yes.
and obviously Courtney also knows Julie and Chris, correct?
Sustained.
And
Sustained.
there's also a connection to Canton Police Department through.
And he just kept
Kevin.
going.
Is that right?
Did you see that?
Can you answer that? Is there a connection? Do you have a connection with the Canton Police Department through?
It was
Kevin Albert?
sustained,
Not with
but he just kept going.
Good for AJ.
Yeah.
Hey, plow right through. Just,
He just literally. Watch this.
Sister,
Yes.
and obviously Courtney also knows Julie and Chris, correct?
Sustained.
And there's also a connection to Canton Police Department.
Just
through
kept going.
Kevin Albert, is that right?
Can you answer that? Is there a connection? Do you have a connection with the Canton Police Department through Kevin Albert?
No, it's
Not
with
the police
Helena.
department, but Kevin Albert is Brian Albert's brother.
Right, and Kevin works for whom?
The Canton Police.
Thank you. So you've been interviewed many times by different law enforcement agencies, be they Massachusetts State Police, Canton Police, or otherwise, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Those interviews have not just been over the period of weeks, it's been over the period of weeks and months and even years since this occurred, correct?
Yes.
You were contacted by another law enforcement
Here it comes.
agency
Here it comes.
that was not Massachusetts State Police and not Canton
Nope.
Police Department.
Nope,
One
it wasn't.
In April of 2020.
must have been the sheriff's
Remember that?
department.
Yes.
I want to talk for a second about that
Solar.
series of interview or that interview.
They were trying to get in touch with her about her car insurance, her
members of-
extended warranty.
They must have had clipboards.
Later that same day, you did sit down with those same law enforcement officers for a formal interview.
On that,
On that same day that you were contacted by them, they also went into your home and actually interviewed you, correct?
yes, it was brief.
All right.
Why?
Those law enforcement
You know why it was
officers
brief?
identified
'Cause
themselves
they
as
felt
being
uncomfortable.
associated with an agency that is not Massachusetts State Police. You understood that.
Yes.
And you understood that they were not involved with Canton Police Department either, correct?
Correct.
Completely separate agency, is that right?
Yes.
During the course of that interview, those officers informed you very specifically, Ms. McCabe, that it is a crime to lie to them, even during an interview, correct?
I imagine
Yes.
that.
Those law enforcement officers informed you that they were investigating certain circumstances attendant to John O'Keefe's death, correct?
They were very vague on what they were.
Understood.
I don't know what they were investigating.
But you did
Hey, Bob. She was sworn in at 2:27. Do you know how many pages in the grand jury testimony there were?
John, you know I made a prediction yesterday, and I know that my prediction didn't necessarily come true, but in a way, we still got the 227 in there because of the 227 pages of those documents.
Yeah. That's just
Isn't that unbelievable?
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Because Brennan could have kept going, and then they wouldn't have gotten that. You know what I mean? Like it just takes a little bit
Can
of
you
you know-
rewind like 10 seconds and play that again? I want to hear it.
Oh yeah, of course I can.
Thank you.
understand that those law enforcement officers informed you very specifically, Ms. McCabe, that it is a crime to lie to them, even during an interview, correct?
Yes.
Those law enforcement officers informed you that they were investigating certain circumstances attendant to John O'Keefe's death, correct?
They were very vague on what they were.
Understood.
I don't know what
They were very vague.
investigating.
But you did understand.
They were very
it was
vague.
having
Oh, they were.
something to do with your involvement at 34 Fairview on January 28th, 29th,
If I did it.
2022. As a witness or otherwise?
Objection. Sustained as to certain terminologies.
Sure. Let me see if I can rephrase that, Ms. McCabe. You were aware of the subject matter of their interview, right? They weren't interviewing about a car you bought last year, correct?
Your extended car warranty.
Correct.
They were interviewing you about, basically, about what you're testifying to here, correct?
When I first spoke with them, the conversation was pretty vague.
But the subject matter, vague or specific, was about this subject matter.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
They first contacted you telephonically. Called you on the
Is
phone.
that
Is
a
that right?
reality check?
Actually, they walked up to my car.
They walked up to your car.
Yes.
Okay, that was the very first introduction, correct?
Yes.
At that point, they had not identified themselves, correct?
They didn't know.
All right, and at that point, you told them that you were not Jennifer McCabe. They asked you who you were, and you said, I'm Nicole.
I thought they were like selling something, so I was like, oh no, I'm not the homeowner.
Fair enough, fair enough.
John, FBI badges
however-
out or no?
No.
After they said,
No.
For a soccer
think-
mom? For a soccer mom?
I think they waited for her to pull up.
They didn't announce, hey, this is the FBI. We'd like to talk to you.
No, I think they said they probably just said, "Hi, Jen McCabe," and she probably just like, "No, no, I'm the babysitter."
What did you think that? Do you think they thought that she was part of the Advantage Boys or something?
No, she's the babysitter.
I think they came up with badges on their belts or around their neck and were very identifiable as law enforcement.
I think that joke went over Eric's head.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
He wasn't even listening.
I
to you.
wasn't.
Wasn't listening to you either.
God.
No, I had something on my mind, so I wanted to say it. I got it off my chest. I'm fine. What's the joke? What'd I miss?
It's fine.
People, tonight I'm just letting these two go at it. I'm just gonna sit here
Please
in my
don't.
corner.
Don't like dog on me again. Like please don't.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going with the.
Boozy, how was dinner?
Oh, I had my leftover chicken parm. Thanks for asking.
It was good, right?
Ooh, and it wasn't from Elsie's, and it wasn't from D&E because I like real chicken parm, not the burnt frozen or 2 teaspoons.
I pause these things at the perfect time, don't I?
No, you can get better faces with her. She's
we
got
can.
some good pause faces.
Yeah, we can.
sorry, after you said, I'm not Jennifer McCabe, you walked into the house, they then called you on the phone.
Yes,
They were
correct.
still sitting outside your house.
I don't know where they were, but they did call me.
They were close by.
I'm not aware.
Well, the call came almost immediately after you walked back in the house, correct?
I'm not sure how much time had passed.
Give me
10
an idea.
minutes.
It wasn't an hour. It was
No, it was
5 or 10
soon
minutes.
after. I'm just not sure. I can't tell you where they were located. I'm sorry.
okay. They told you that they would. At that point, they had.
The one thing she did today, all day, wouldn't give
sorry.
a time. Wouldn't give a time.
She said I'm sorry a lot too.
Yep. Couldn't nail down any times. Except for the first call. The call that woke her up. Everything else, nope. Like not even couldn't be 15 minutes. Couldn't. There was no time. Well, other than the 9 o'clock. The 9 o'clock when she went to the waterfall.
Well, why would you want to lock yourself in?
Well, I mean, why would you want to lock yourself in? Funny you should say that. That brings us to our first clip of the night. So, Jen, let's see if hopefully I don't have them labeled.
Again, I'm sorry, but what time is it that you leave D&E to go to waterfall?
Just before 10, maybe like 9:50-ish. My wife was there. Matt was there. Matt McCabe was there. Jen McCabe was there.
Now take us inside the waterfall. When you get there, who do you see?
I walk in and I see Julie and Chris Albert.
How long were you in the waterfall for that night?
Approximately 9 to little around midnight-ish.
That's why you don't lock yourself into times. Okay.
Yeah, they kind of.
That's McAlbert time right there. Okay. Chris doesn't get out of work until almost 10. And when he walks in, he sees Jen. Jen shows up there at 9 and sees Chris there.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, she looked out the window and said, "Hey, there's Chris."
Right.
Right
That's
across
why-
the street.
Chris had to take one of those baths, you know.
Don't
Yeah.
even say it.
The,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
the Pitts bath. Oh, someone used to say
do you use flour if you're in the never
it's,
mind.
it starts with the letter W, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's that kind of bath. Yes. Yes. The W bath.
Boozy,
Wow.
just you're on top of him. Just stomp on the head.
I
Listen,
don't even know what he's talking about.
Hey, I've done it.
You're
I've
lucky.
done it before.
You're lucky.
I've done it before. As long as you ever, I almost.
You probably did it this morning.
No, I almost got kicked out of the Foxborough rink during COVID. They locked all the showers to the locker rooms, so I brought with me a couple gallons of water, and I would go behind my pickup truck, and I would go down just to my Canadian Speedo, and I would pour the first gallon over me, and then I would soap up, and then I would pour the next gallon over me and rinse off, and somebody reported me for taking a shower outside of the rink. Yeah. So then I got myself one of those little tents that pop up in a second, like
Oh
you
my
bring down to the
God.
beach to change.
Homeless. You're homeless.
I'm
No,
not going to
he-
get in my
he was-
car after playing hockey and I'd be all sweaty. I mean, you know. that's
No,
what
he
they
was
did to-
pretending like he was at Coachella.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
what he was doing.
Without the Coachella.
Pretty much.
Identified themselves as being law enforcement agents, correct?
When they called me, yes.
And they told you at that time that they were not with Canton Police. You knew at least they were not with Canton Police Department. They were not troopers with Massachusetts State Police, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And they told you that they would like to have an interview with you. They'd like to have a sit-down talk with you, correct?
Yes.
You told them that you would be willing to submit to an interview, but you needed about 10 minutes to get ready, correct?
She had to freshen
Yes.
up.
You ultimately did allow them into your home, and you did sit down for a formal interview with them, correct?
Yes, brief, but
And-
yes.
And it was during that formal interview inside the home that it was explained to you that it would be a crime for you to lie to them on any material issue, correct?
Yes.
During the course of your interview, your husband, Matt McCabe, came home. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, because that's
As
what she
these
needed
law
for
enforcement
10 minutes
agents
for.
continue to
Honey,
question
get
you,
get
law
home
enforcement
now.
officers continue
He
to
didn't have a
question you. At
choice.
some point, you informed them that you did not feel comfortable with any further questioning, and you suspended the interview, correct?
Yes.
Imagine if he worked in like Lexington or Woburn or something. She would have been screwed.
Probably a Wampy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was up. he was down at the Legion. Honey, I need you home now. What? Just get home, okay? I'll tell you in a little bit.
I'll have another.
As these law enforcement agents continue to question you, these law enforcement officers continue to question you at some point, you inform them that you did not feel comfortable with any further questioning and you suspended the interview, correct?
Yes.
Before leaving, however, those same law enforcement officers asked you if you had contacted anyone in those 10 minutes when you indicated, I need 10 minutes to get ready, between the time they called you and the time that they showed up and came inside your house, correct?
Yes.
You told them that you had contacted your husband, Matt McCabe,
Yes.
which is why he came home, right?
Yes.
And you told them that you had called Carrie Roberts before they interviewed you, correct? At that moment.
I'm not 100% sure, but if you have it, I'll.
Could you show me?
It
she's
seems
uncomfy.
like something I
Look
would
at her.
do, but
Yeah.
if you
Look
have
at her
it,
twitching
could
and
you-
scratching and
I
yeah,
didn't notice this. A little anxious.
squirming. Yeah. Now, while he's getting that 10
have
minutes,
just a moment, Your
that's
Honor.
called
Okay.
panic. Okay. And once again, though, if you're just a regular witness in something and you really don't know anything other than just your little part in it, Why would you be so squirmy? I guess because it's the feds. I don't know. You know, I'd probably do something similar. Like, yeah, I'll talk to you, but I just want to have my lawyer present.
Don't kid yourself. The feds would scare the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, I'll talk to you,
Yes.
but I want to have a lawyer present. You know?
And can I change my drawers?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I want to wear my brown pants.
Yeah.
Mr. Cade, if you recognize that as being a part of that interview, just generally, yes or no?
It appears to be, yes.
May I approach the witness stand and stand by the witness stand for a couple of questions?
Yes.
Imagine if they had a friggin' somebody said that they tapped their lines or whatever. But imagine if they had a stinger and they were listening to every call she made.
What do you think? They're not?
Yeah, right? Could you imagine that? You panic, you call everybody, the Fed's just sitting there out in his little ice cream van going, "We got it." You know?
What do you think, John? They got it?
Eagles leaving the nest. Eagle to eaglet.
I can have that.
Sure.
I want to
Yeah.
direct your attention, if I may,
Hey, he's got a lot of white too, you know.
page 3 of 4.
Who?
His beard doesn't even go up to his ears.
Going into page 5.
He's got like 10 years on you. Anyways.
But they don't even go to his ears.
You could review those.
My hair just doesn't stop.
To yourself, and then look up and let me know.
Listen, he can control his growth. You can't.
Dude, I had to shave my shoulders so it didn't look like I had a fur
Listen.
flak jacket.
You shaved this morning.
I shaved my shoulders. Like my neck, so it didn't look like it just went up the front and down the back.
It's summer.
I know.
It's springtime, buddy.
Mullins was supposed. I shaved the majority of my back by myself the other night.
Poor
Mullins
Mullins.
was supposed to help me, so now I have these two giant patches all over my shoulder blades that I couldn't reach. And I've tried before so many times.
Listen,
I've
if you let that grow extra, is it like extra padding?
I bought that back shaving thing. It dies. It's not good enough. I have taped that electric razor to the back of a hockey stick and like used a hockey stick to do it. I've tried everything. I've wedged in the door and gone like this, like a freaking stupid bear, and just moved my back up and down on the razor that's fixed in place.
Why don't you just get waxed?
I went to Betsy's barber shop before and got waxed.
They kick you out?
No, it took them
Too
like
much
2
work?
hours. It
Or
took
they
them like
charge you
2
double?
hours. No, they did it for the show when George and I used to have our little show.
Oh, they did it complimentary.
Yeah. I know. They would never have asked. They already knew.
John.
Yeah.
I got to get a Pricks Insider.
Go ahead. She's still
Fast
reading.
forward.
Yes.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Okay. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
That about who you contacted in that 10-minute interval,
Yes, I told them.
and you told them that you had contacted your husband, Matt McCabe,
Yes,
and Carrie Roberts.
correct.
I want to stick with that for just a quick second. One of the first calls you made after being contacted by these other law enforcement officers from a different agency, one of the first calls you made was to Carrie Roberts. Is that right?
She was the first one.
That's what I'm asking. One of the first 2 calls you made, your husband,
Right.
come home, there's law enforcement outside my door, I'm guessing is what you said, correct?
I don't remember my exact words now, but I
Boozy.
What?
This happens to you. Somebody shows up. You say, "Give me 10 minutes." You run in the house. You're gonna remember the first person you call.
I'm not gonna answer the door again.
But you're
That's
gonna
what I'm
remember.
That's
You're
what
gonna remember the first. You're gonna. Well, you know what? While we're paused, and I know reality, you're gonna get one too. Holy crap! Thank you, Nicole. Nicole, you're gonna get the Boozy treatment for this one.
Yay.
Let's see. Yeah, you'll get the Boozy. Actually, for 20, she.
Give us fucking McDonough, and we'll go easy on you.
Thank you, Nicole. And the other one was well, here's the other one. Reality check. You get one too. Reality check while we're waiting on Eric to come back.
Give us fucking McDonough, and we'll go easy on you.
There you go.
Give us fucking McDonough.
Give us fucking McDonough and we'll go easy on you. Give us fucking McDonough. Poor guy. He's hiding out now.
What do you
Down in
mean?
Florida, hiding from the feds.
He's in. He is a fed.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Sean. He's probably tapped my computer.
Hey, listen, he knows more about you than you'll ever know
Oh,
about him.
I know. He sent me some stupid attachment the first week. He's probably behind half the shit in my computer right now.
He told you.
No.
He told you about everything you did before you were 10 years old.
I know. Eric, same thing.
Yeah.
They come up to you.
Who's
and
they?
you're like, feds. Feds come up, or
Yeah.
well, they call you, right? You didn't. So maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't say who they were, right?
John,
She goes in the house.
have
They
these
call her from
chains
outside the
around
house.
their neck with badges that cover their hearts.
All right. Say they call her and say, hey, and she goes, give me 10 minutes. Right? You mean to tell me you don't know who the fucking first person you call is?
Well, one, they're giving her the 10 minutes because they know she's a soccer mom and she ain't going anywhere.
She had to freshen up. Right.
I mean, yeah, she might have had to brush her teeth and all that, and that takes 3 minutes. The other 7 minutes were calling 5 different people.
Yeah.
But she only remembered
Sean's
2 of
always
those
invited
calls.
I know. But yeah, so the way she looked is like
John,
I don't know.
from what did I hear correctly, and I missed this. Again, I had to work today, so I didn't get it all. But I heard through the grapevine that one of the 5 people was Mrs. O. Is that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, here it comes.
Just play it. Just play it. Just play
Did
it.
ask him to come home, correct?
And
Yes.
Carrie Roberts.
Okay, yes.
You wanted to let Miss Roberts know that you had been contacted by certain officers from a different agency, correct?
I was curious if they had already been to her.
That was
Because-
that was my next question.
yeah.
You also wanted to find out had these law enforcement officers from this different agency contacted her, correct?
Yes, because typically if
I
you
just
enter
asked
our
yes or no.
town, she's.
Ms. McCabe, yes or no?
Oh, sorry, I was
Just
just
a no.
trying to
That's okay.
explain. I'm sorry.
Is that why you contacted her, to find out
Eager
if
beaver.
in fact they had contacted her before you? Yes or no?
Yes.
And you also wanted to find out what she told them.
How big a
if she had been
brick
contacted
did she
by them,
shit?
Correct? That was your motive in calling her.
No.
So you just wanted to find out had she been contacted, but if
Yes.
she had said yes, you weren't going to say, and what the hell did they say? What'd they ask you?
Well, I can't say what I would have asked her, but I know I was calling to see if they had been there. Yes.
That
Yeah.
was your
correct.
that
Yeah,
was
because
your
you were
intent.
shitting bricks.
I called to ask her if they had been there. Yes.
So that was your intent, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Your motive in calling Carrie Roberts at that moment before your interview was to ensure that your story would line up with her story.
No, she wanted to make sure that Kerry didn't roll.
No, that is not.
You wanted to find out if she
Carrie!
talked to these
Carrie!
law enforcement officers and what she had told them so that
Boozy!
your story could
Boozy!
somehow align or it could inform how you responded
Kerry!
that they
What,
asked
Jen?
you.
Did you roll?
That's not true. We both know what happened. We don't have to have a story. There is no story. There's what happened, and that's
So,
it.
so if that's true, Ms. McCabe,
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
you
truth.
have no reason to call Carrie and ask her if she had been contacted by these law enforcement.
That person right there, Diane's got it awesome. It's okay.
Right?
I
We're
need
going
10
through
minutes.
this whole experience.
by the way,
together.
did you
We
call anyone?
each other about everything. That's nothing more than that. I'm sorry.
By the way, did you open your refrigerator? No!
There's nothing more than me calling and saying, hey, did they come to your house? That's what we did when the media showed up, when Miss Reed's private investigator showed up. We just give each other the heads up, hey, somebody's coming. Because we're just like,
The feds are coming!
We're not used to this.
And that's helpful.
I'm not used to the feds showing up either.
Are consistent with the stories you have to different law enforcement agencies, correct?
No, we are not telling stories.
So let her finish. You said no.
How many
I said,
times
no,
did
we're
the
not
judge
telling
say let her
stories.
finish today,
We don't
too?
have to compare.
She needs to help out. The judge is just helping out.
It's just the
truth.
Auntie Bev.
She was so soft today.
Starting to warm up to her.
Isn't a Brazilian a
Inquiring.
lot?
It's like when you're when the ice
a
cream
lot of
truck
work.
was at the street nenext door, and I'm saying, did the ice cream truck come? It's really that simple.
Oh, I love that one too. I gotta go back because they didn't. The judge didn't let AJ do his analogy. Oh, I used analogy. Oh, hey, look at that! I didn't do that one on purpose. Sorry.
See, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Get your screenshots now. Where's my screenshot picture? What time is that one? I'll find that one. Sorry. The judge didn't like his analogy, right? But they let her give an analogy.
There's no inquiring. It's like when you're when the ice cream truck was at the street next door, and I'm saying, did the ice cream truck come? It's really that simple.
So,
John, she's just answering the question.
Not about an ice cream truck.
Ice cream trucks are fun. The FBI are probably not fun.
Yeah, but what if the FBI was in the ice cream truck?
You know what? They probably do that to
They
get the
probably
pedophiles.
do that.
You also testified in your direct examination,
God.
staying with Ms. Roberts for just a second,
I'm gonna make that
about
tomorrow.
a timeline that you and Ms. Roberts put together.
I'm
Correct?
gonna make that right now.
That's another example of the two
John, we got a show to do.
talking about your
No,
own
it'll take me a minute.
All right.
perceptions.
He doesn't make it himself. He goes on ChatGPT.
No, I make these myself.
He's a cheater.
No.
Yeah, he's just so creative.
I made the two-guy
enough.
pizza one.
If you-
I made the
can I
FBI
explain
pizza
or no?
one. I made that one myself, the way I put it in front of Tim Albert's house.
After you gave that answer to those law enforcement officers at that separate law enforcement agency, they asked you, was there anyone else that you contacted in that 10-minute period before we got a chance to talk to you? And your answer was no, correct?
Correct.
And that was a lie, correct?
It wasn't a lie, no.
Was it true?
It wasn't a lie.
Was it the truth or a lie?
John,
It
she's
wasn't
on the
a lie.
ropes.
Okay, so it was the truth. You had not spoken to any other person between the time they
Will you let me
contacted you
explain?
You said, I need 10 minutes, and then they came in the door. During that part of time, you didn't talk to anybody else or contact anybody else other than Matt McCabe or Kerry Roberts. Now you're testifying that was a true statement.
I can't answer that yes or no.
It's pretty binary. Had you talked, well, let me ask you this. In point of fact, you did talk to other people. You contacted others, in addition to Matt McCabe and Kerry Roberts, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so when you said no to the answer, did you contact anyone other than Matt and Kerry? That would be, by definition, Ms. McCabe, a lie, correct?
No.
It's not a lie.
No.
Is there some
By her
shade of
logic.
lie that I'm not aware of?
It's the way you're asking the question. If I
Okay, let
could
me ask it a different
explain,
Let me ask
No.
you
it
a
will
different
make
way.
more sense to you.
Oh. Sure.
The agents asked you, I'm going to go over this one more time, then I'm going to move on. The agents
Okay.
asked you, in fact, did you contact anyone between the time we called you and set up the interview and the 10 minutes before we walked in the door? They asked you that question, correct?
The objection sustained. Watch the choice of language.
I'm sorry.
Did he just say the FBI?
The law enforcement agency.
He just said, go back a sec, will you?
I'm going back. I'm going back.
I mean, I missed that myself.
Yeah. And I was wondering today,
Contacted you.
I'm like, why did they?
Correct?
Here it is.
The
Missed it by a
objection
second.
Oh, wait.
sustained.
Yeah. hold
And
on.
then I'm going to move on. The agents asked you, in fact, did you contact anyone between the time we called you and set up the interview and the 10 minutes before we walked in the door? They asked you that question, correct?
The objection sustained.
Said
Watch
agents.
the choice of language.
Oh, keep going.
You're,
Is there some shade of lie that I'm not aware of?
it's the way you're asking the question. If I
Okay, let
could
me ask it a different
explain,
way.
if I could explain,
Let me ask it
it
a
will
different
make
way.
more sense to you.
The agents asked you. I'm going
Agents.
to go over this one more time, then I'm going to move on.
He said
The
agents.
asked you,
I
in
like
fact,
that.
Did you contact anyone between the time we called you and set up the interview and the 10 minutes before we walked in the door? They asked you that question, correct?
The objection sustained. Watch the choice of language.
Watch it. Choice of language.
I meant
You're
the
not allowed to
agents-
talk about the feds.
that
Agents,
law
that's
enforcement
bad
agency,
word. Bad word.
The members of that law enforcement agency contacted you. Sorry. They asked you who you had contacted between the time they first telephoned you and walked in the door 10 minutes later. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Data point number one. Data point number two, you told them Matt and Carrie, correct?
Correct.
You had actually contacted, they then asked you, did you contact anyone else other than
Because
Matt and
they
Carrie,
knew.
Correct?
Correct.
And you said no. Is that correct?
At that moment, I said no, yes.
Correct. At that, or any moment.
No, at that moment, because they had just come in my house.
I asked you,
You let them in your house.
you said.
Were they in her bedroom?
No,
She
correct?
was finishing her answer.
No, Brian was.
I
So
had
was
said
Jen.
no.
According to her.
Because I'm going to be.
I mean, Karen.
I
Karen
was in a
their
situation
bedroom.
where there are two officers from a
God.
different agent had come
Oh
in,
my
were
God.
asking me questions,
size of her
or
eyes
they had
right now.
said, "Can I come in and ask you questions?" At first, I thought they were selling something. Then they identified themselves. I just dropped my kids off at school. Going to be completely honest. I hadn't brushed my teeth. So I kind of made some phone
Objection, Your
calls.
She didn't brush her
That's-
tooth.
So next question.
Completely honest. Code
Okay.
for I
Uh-huh.
told
You
you the
said
truth.
no,
That's stalling right there. Completely honest.
that you hadn't contacted anybody else.
I like that
Come
one.
in, were asking me questions, or they had said, "Can I come in and ask you questions?" At first, I thought they were selling something. Then they identified themselves. I just dropped my kids off at school. Going to be completely honest. I hadn't brushed my teeth. So I kind of made some phone
Objection, Your Honor.
calls.
This is
That's,
non-responsive.
so next question.
Do you see how many
Thank
times she did that too? Licking her lips
Okay.
like that?
After you said no,
Here's the other thing. Do you think that whole I just brushed my teeth, did she just make that thing up on the fly, or you think that kind of was on like one of the things, hey, if they ask you this is what you're going to say?
Had to come up with something.
Think that was just off the top of her head?
No, but you had to come up with something for sure.
How do you think she's been doing so far?
All in all, better than expected. But not great.
She made 5 phone calls, didn't brush her teeth, and didn't put any deodorant on for those federal agents.
No
Oh
wonder
my God, that's
no wonder they didn't take it with her with them.
No wonder.
We'll come back another day.
We're good.
We'll be
We're
back.
just gonna let you know. Hey, we're gonna go see Kerry now. Okay, we're going to see Kerry now. All right, Kerry. Just like imagine. And then we're letting you know, Jen, we're gonna go see Brian after we see Kerry. Got it? Kerry, then Brian. And then they go wait outside and listen in. They're probably in the van. What do you think? Do you think she calls Kerry? Let's use let's see if we can get her to call Kerry. Crack myself up.
Hi, Boozy.
Hey, H-Rock Doctor.
Give us fucking McDonough, and we'll go easy on you.
I got another one. Let's see. Which one was... Oh! I saw this one today. This was my last one that I saw today. All right? People, remember when she says she saw the vehicle move up 2 times? First she saw it straight ahead. Then it went to the flagpole. Then it was further up the street. Right?
In front of the Asian house.
Okay. Pay attention.
From one place to the flagpole to further up. It moved to the flagpole, and then it moved up again.
And what are these really big things right in the middle of your view from the window of your kitchen to the sack of suds? What do we call these big things?
Trees?
Trees, that's right. Don't be afraid to shout them right out when you know.
Did you see that? Did you see that at the beginning?
From one place to the flagpole to further up. It moved to the flagpole and then it moved up again.
And what are these?
Yeah. She never saw that vehicle all the way up to the next house. Not from that angle.
No, she might have seen the.
Not from that angle of that door.
See who was in the car?
Okay. She would have had to see the brake lights.
Yeah, no, there would have been the tail end.
That's
of the
all she
car
would have saw
after
was the
it
tail
happened.
lights.
Keep in mind there was no leaves on the trees at that that time of year.
Now we're gonna have to go see what those trees are. Now we have to go down and go 60 feet away. I'm gonna go down there and park up in that spot and see if I have a direct line of sight to the front door.
It's not going to be accurate because one of the pine trees is down.
Oh, they took a tree down?
No, it fell down during a storm.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Those darn storms,
And that. I'm going to play that one more time only because I like it.
Hi, Annie.
From one place to the flagpole to further up. It moved to the flagpole and then it moved up again.
And what are these really big things right in the middle of your view from the window of your kitchen to the sack of suds? What do we call these big things?
Trees?
Trees, that's right. Don't be afraid to shout them right out when you know.
Just shout them right out, Jen. Jen, shout out the answers. Jen, shout out the answers when you know. Okay.
He's not afraid to shout them out.
No.
Give me that microphone.
That you hadn't contacted anybody else. Those two law enforcement officers from that separate agency who had told you it was a crime to lie to them, they left, correct?
Yes.
Subsequent to that, Mr. McKay, your husband,
Objection.
Why? What's that on? Form?
they left you their card so you could call them if need be, correct?
Yes, they did.
And you, in fact, did call them back, correct?
Yes, I did.
Without telling me the content of the conversation you had, did you have a conversation with Mr. McKay?
Objection.
Sustained.
Why? She can answer yes or no to that.
Did you call them back and say,
it's the form.
I'm calling you back because my husband told me
Objection.
that I lied to you, and I better clear that lie up.
So sustained. Jurors, remember I told you before that only answers to questions are evidence? Be mindful of that.
May we
Next, yes.
May we approach? Because we've tried 3 ways to ask her this
Call them if
question.
need be, correct?
Yes, they did.
And you, in fact, did call them back, correct?
Yes, I did.
Without telling me the content of the conversation you had, did you have a conversation with Mr. McKay?
Objection.
Sustained.
Why can't she say yes or no if she had a conversation with Matt?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't understand. And maybe if we were able to hear what their actual objections were, we would be able to know.
He didn't ask what the substance of the conversation was. He just said, after you called them back, or no, what do you say? Before you called them back, did you have a conversation? Now I gotta fucking play it back. Jesus Christ.
Hey, you don't have to
Wow.
swear in that situation.
Without telling me the content of the conversation you had, did you have a conversation with Mr. McKay?
Objection.
Sustained.
See what I mean? It's an easy question.
It makes no sense. Why? I mean, tell me why that got sustained. Was there
I don't know.
bad form?
Did you call them back and say, I'm calling you back because my husband told me
Objection.
that I lied to you,
Sustained.
and I better clear that lie up?
So sustained. Jurors, remember I told you before.
Did you see the
that
way she
only
closed her
answers
eyes?
to
You see that?
questions are evidence. Jurors, remember.
Watch that. See the
I
long.
better clear
Watch.
that lie
Watch
up.
watch the eyes. The long.
Jurors, remember I
See
told
that?
you before that
She's
only
pissed.
answers to
Yeah.
questions are evidence. Be mindful.
That was her
of
taking like a
Maybe
breath
next-
mentally.
Yes.
There it is again.
Is this before lunch?
Yeah.
Wait till
Oh. Oh.
till
Watch
after
this.
lunch.
I know. There's a point when it comes back, the camera's on them, and Yannetti is just fucking smiling.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He's enjoying things these days.
who's the one with the black hair there? Who's that one?
That's O'Toole.
O'Toole.
O'Toole?
Meg.
That's Megan O'Toole?
Oh, okay.
O'Toole Kennedy, yeah.
Jesus Christ, I haven't seen her in ages. Hi,
Yeah,
Meg.
does she look great?
Yeah. Except for right there when she looked like pouty face.
John, when's the last time you seen her?
It's been some years.
30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened to the other guy? Right here, the guy with the suit and tie kid here, the giant chin guy here.
Oh, that's their
The new one?
Yeah, Tiny Desk Man couldn't
Yeah.
come on the
Oh. Here we go. Is this when they're smiling like crazy?
May I?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. You ultimately called these officers back, correct?
Yes.
And you explained to them that you had been untruthful with them, correct?
I explained that I had forgotten to mention a couple of people that I had reached out to.
You had forgotten.
In 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that your testimony?
Yes.
You had forgotten. You remembered Matt and you remembered Carrie, but you had forgotten the others that you had just contacted maybe 30 minutes before.
Yes.
There were 5 people that you contacted, weren't there?
I contacted Matt.
Let's go through them. I'm just
Yeah.
asking yes or no. You know the
I
number?
know 4 off the top of my head.
Okay, let's go through them.
Okay.
You contacted your husband, correct?
Yes.
You contacted Carrie Roberts, correct?
Yes.
You contacted Peggy O'Keefe, correct?
Yes.
Then, Ms. McCabe, you contacted the district attorney's office, correct?
My witness advocate.
The district attorney's office.
My witness advocate who works for the district.
And who's number
attorney's
5?
Thank you, Ms.
office,
McCabe.
yes.
And you also left out that you contacted Brian Albert himself, correct?
Yes, my brother-in-law.
For some reason, your brother-in-law, who's the
He's the answer to
30-year
every one of her
Boston
problems.
police detective, correct?
You know that?
Are you sure?
And
She
on
goes to
whose
him for
lawn
everything.
John O'Keefe was found
He's her
dead
rock.
or dying,
Objection.
I'll allow that.
correct?
Yes.
For some reason, you did not want these officers to know that you had communicated specifically with Brian Albert, the homeowner, just before you talked to them, correct?
No, incorrect.
There was some reason that was important enough for you to lie about that, even though you had been admonished that it's a crime to lie about that to those officers, correct?
They told her ahead of
Incorrect. I
time.
didn't lie to them. I had forgotten who I had called.
In 10
And all of a
minutes.
sudden, you had an epiphany right after they walked out the door?
No, she looked at her
Yes.
phone.
Matt said, who have you spoken to?
Objection.
I'm going to allow it. It's out. You're not to go any further.
Don't go any further.
Ms. McCabe, I want to draw your attention
Don't go any further.
to January 28. You had gone out drinking with your family at the Waterfall Bar and Grill, correct?
I went with my husband and met my sister, yes.
And met the other family.
Oh, the
correct?
other thing she
Other
does
family
tonight.
members, meaning
My niece.
Matt
The other
McCabe,
thing she
Nicole,
did all
Chris,
day is
Julie, Kate
she
Leonard.
couldn't answer the easy yes and no's.
Correct.
She had to
Yes.
have like a little
I think you
extra.
mentioned Tristan was there as well.
Yes.
You were later joined by Nick and Karina Kolakithis, is that right?
Yes.
Ultimately,
Oh.
Brian Higgins showed up.
Eric, did you see that one
And
too?
Brian
When she's
Albert
like,
showed up.
I saw them. I saw her.
You previously indicated that
Nicole?
Caitlin's boyfriend Tristan left early
She tried
for
to.
whatever reason.
Yeah,
He had
she tried
errands to run or
to
had to get
have
to bed
like
early for some
everybody
reason,
play
is that
fight.
right?
He left before us, yes.
So he didn't stay through the shank of the evening.
The shank.
The what?
The shank of the evening through the course of the evening.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
Did you see her face?
And
The
ultimately,
what?
after
Wow.
of the evening.
That sounds
Boyfriend
fun.
Tristan left early for whatever reason. He had errands to run or had to get to bed early for some reason. Is that right?
He left before us, yes.
So he didn't stay through the shank of the evening.
Through the what?
The shank of the evening through the course of the evening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And ultimately, at the waterfall, John O'Keefe and Miss Reed showed up as well.
Yes.
You didn't see any tension at all between John O'Keefe and Karen that night, did you?
No, I didn't.
Same one.
They appeared to be getting along.
Yeah. Yes.
Sort of a normal couple having a nice evening out together.
Yes.
Neither John nor Karen Reed appeared drunk or inebriated, out of sorts.
No, I wouldn't categorize them as drunk or inebriated.
And
But again, I
Inebriated.
don't know what the definition of drunk
But
is.
John,
Okay, you
I'm
gotta
not
add
asking
that.
for their BAC.
John, you
but
gotta
they didn't
pause
appear to be
for me for a
stumbling around,
second.
falling all over themselves, and sloppy drunk, correct?
No.
Out
John.
of control.
I did. I paused it.
So they're not drunk at the waterfall,
Nope.
but all of a sudden, when she's between driving from the waterfall to Fairview, she got hammered. What do you
Apparently.
mean? What do you mean? I mean, she's either drunk or she's not drunk.
It's that. Well, it was that one double that she probably took with
I
her.
mean, do I think she had a buzz? Yeah, no different buzz than most of the people driving out of all the bars in Massachusetts.
Well, at
Ri-
least in Canton.
Rizzo, I believe it. I'm just like you. I don't think he was there either.
You don't think he was at the waterfall? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he.
Or at 34 Fairview?
I don't think he was at 34 Fairview.
No, me
Okay.
either.
All right. I think that's why one of the vehicles is missing. I think she took it along with the dog. And I think that was just because they placed her in the house at 7:00.
So, John,
Multiple
vehicle-
people
what-
placed her in the house at 7:00.
in the morning?
No, before the. So Sarah
Yeah.
placed her in the house. Julie placed her in the house.
Prior to going to the waterfall.
Because Julie drove her to the waterfall.
Yeah, okay. So when does she leave and does she take the dog with her? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think she took the dog with her.
And Tristan had nothing to do with it?
No.
You don't think Tristan came from wherever they live and picked her up and grabbed the dog at the same time?
No, he had to be up early to plow.
He had to go plowing. He was probably already plowing by then.
Could have been.
Shoveling
I
sidewalks
mean,
and doing whatever
probably
he's
not.
doing.
There wasn't a lot of snow at 2:00 in the morning.
Going from, what's that? The farmer's daughter. He had to get from the farmer's daughter back to Fairview.
Question is, was he at the waterfall?
He may have been and left early.
Okay. That throws a wrinkle in it because I mean everybody's been saying he was there. I mean, there's no video showing him there though.
How come they ask everybody, is that you, is that you, is that you at the waterfall, but that's not him? Because he left early. Okay, so what happened?
Do we even see Caitlin there
At the
No.
bar?
at the waterfall?
Well,
Oh, yes.
yeah, because
do
they
see
leave.
her.
They show him leaving. Yeah,
Uh,
right.
Yeah, she's on tape.
Or film.
Tape.
or digital?
No, because apparently they use CDs still in Norfolk County. So
Oh,
tape.
okay, so
That's not
so
tape.
she's been burned.
But chum.
Oh yes. All right. Let's.
You haven't lost it, John. You haven't lost it
I
yet.
have not.
Nothing
No,
like that.
great.
No.
Okay. You did see Brian Higgins and Brian Albert at a high top table, sort of together.
Oh, she couldn't even answer
through
this.
the course of that evening, correct?
And here's the other thing: they never showed.
We
They
were
never
all
showed it.
Kind of around like a long high top
and
table.
and John
Remember in
O'Keefe,
trial
and as you
one,
look at the- I'm
they
gonna
showed
use the
all the
perspective
footage of them
the video
playing
that
grab
you've
ass.
seen,
Their
that camera
defense is
angle that
not
you've
done
seen.
yet.
John O'Keefe and Miss Reed were sort of further off in the corner.
Yeah, but who are they gonna
closer
use
the
to bring it
bar
in
rather
on?
Than to the tables, correct? Along with the cola.
Good on her. It's already in.
And you as a
What
matter
do
of
you mean it's already in?
Yes.
They haven't
At
showed all
different
that
times,
footage
everyone was kind of
from the
moving
waterfall.
around. I spent the
But it's already
majority
in.
of the time
It's
that
over.
Karen
They
and John
showed
were
it.
there speaking
How
with
is it in?
Karen.
Pause it for a fucking
and that was
second.
sort of over toward the bar.
Don't you yell at me. Calm
The
down.
we weren't in the bar. We
Do
were
not
at the
speak to
table.
me like that. What do you mean it's in? I haven't seen it in yet.
Here's the thing. They already have the entire, what do you want to call it, video instead of tape? They already have the entire video in as an exhibit. So they can bring it in whenever they want. Just because they haven't shown
But the
that.
jury hasn't seen it yet.
Okay. And he still says he still has about 2 hours left I bet you it's going to be shown. I
Not
bet you.
today. I watched all day.
We got a couple hours tomorrow.
He's not
No,
bringing
not
it in on
tomorrow.
her.
Friday. They're off tomorrow. I watched all day today.
I'm
He
sorry,
still
they're
has
Friday.
2 hours. Oh my God, chat. Do you see what I deal with?
He's not going to bring it in on her.
Says who?
Why? Why wouldn't he?
Because he's got because all the stuff he's already done. He's gonna do the bar with her right now, right? He's gonna do the peanut butter and jelly with her later. The only thing he hasn't done with her yet is she's telling them everything. That's gonna come up soon.
That's what I was thinking, Mizzy, that they were going to bring it in for one of the Bryans because of the grab ass.
Oh, or Higgins, yeah,
so-
Brian, yeah.
Boozy and John, I'm convinced that they're gonna, when the defense gets their opportunity, they're gonna bring Kerry back on the stand. Do you think they're gonna bring Jen's back on the stand?
Are they allowed to? Because you've already cross-examined them.
No. They get to direct.
They do?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You can recall any witness you
This
want.
is why we need a freaking lawyer on here.
Listen, where's your brother?
He doesn't even pay attention to half this shit.
Listen, we just need technical questions. We don't have to talk about anything.
I know. He could be like, when they go to the booth in the NFL, or they talk to that old referee that now looks at the videos.
You know the 2 Muppet guys that are up in the corner?
Oh, Statler and Waldorf.
I think we should get Whitey and your brother to sit up.
Whitey and Gary.
Well, that'd be good too. I mean,
yeah, Whitey and Gary to sit together.
Don't get me
in a
wrong.
room,
We need George.
and we put them on the same camera. No, we make them use the same camera.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We put Whitey and Gary. We put them up in the top corner and just let them. Oh my God! Well, and that brings us to another quickie. Let's do this one.
In the meantime, all of a sudden there was a car at the end of my street and there was a plow behind it.
The car that came to the end of your street, do you know where it went?
I meant the end of my driveway, I'm sorry.
When you say the end of your driveway, did it pull into your driveway?
No, it just kind of stopped right at the base of my driveway.
I remember when I pulled in behind her car in Jen's driveway.
There you go.
Hey, Kerry was having a good hair day that day.
Kerry pulled into the driveway. Jen said she didn't pull into the driveway.
Yeah, but who was the plow driver?
Oh, I know, huh? There was a plow driver. Yeah.
You're telling me they don't know who the plow driver was?
Yeah, we know who it was.
So it was one side of the table and the other. It wasn't far away.
Right.
I could put this on
I'm
a
using the
fastest
bar
speed,
sort of as
right?
a landmark for nothing.
If you
I
want.
didn't mean you were sidled up to the bar, but just sort of as a landmark. You were closer to the bar than, for instance, in the foreground, which would be the high top tables in the foreground, correct?
We were just on the other, I'm confused about this. We were just on the other side of the table.
Okay. You did see on the opposite side of that high top table, that's where Brian Albert and Brian Higgins were standing, talking and communicating with each other. Is that right?
I believe so. I was talking to Miss Reed. I wasn't really paying attention to them.
Did you ever see those 2 men get physical with one another that night?
Let's get physical.
I did not that night. I did not see that.
Have you ever
No, hold
seen
on, hold on.
full
Reverse for a
reviews in
second.
all the hours that you-
Reverse for a
for
second.
your testimony? Have you been shown?
Everyone needs to hear what she said. Specifically, you just need that one sentence, that one answer back.
Communicating with each other. Is that right?
I believe so. I was talking to Miss Reed. I wasn't really paying attention to them.
Did you ever see those 2 men get physical with one another that night?
I did not that night. I did not see that.
Have you ever?
That
night.
That
Oh,
night.
Shit.
Oh,
That's all right.
shit.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yes.
And that time was what?
Do you remember?
Can I look at the paper? I was reading everything. I looked at the exact.
Out the door, did you see any other vehicles at that time? The answer to my question, you 2 were together literally just before she testified at the grand jury, which was the first. So that would be parallel, actually in line with.
No, incorrect.
There was some reason that was important enough for you to lie about that, even though you had been
wrong,
admonished
sir.
that it's a crime. Karen had come with you.
Yes.
Oh.
Ms. Reed ultimately declined your invitation.
Okay, we're almost there.
I saw myself convert.
Outside, the surveillance video of you. And you said to Ms. Reed something. Everybody went over to 34 Fair.
Almost there.
And started grappling, playing, coming.
Yeah, I feel like she was about like this.
There it is. Yep, we're almost there. Bear with me. I have fat
I'd
fingers.
have to watch the video to categorize.
They weren't on their phones, right?
I don't honestly know.
But you did see.
I saw them together. It's blurry, and they're kind of. I don't know really what they're doing.
Okay, but they weren't standing there holding.
It's kind of blurry.
The video, I don't remember it.
Yeah, why was the video blurry this time?
Would say more like play fighting, and Nick Kolakidis was a little bit.
She basically
I
includes.
didn't mean you were sidled up to the bar, but just to serve as a landmark, you were closer to the bar than, for instance, in the foreground, which would be the high top tables in the foreground, correct?
We were just on the other. I'm confused about this. We were just on the other side of the table.
Okay. You did see on the opposite side of that high top table, that's where Brian Albert and Brian Higgins were standing, talking, and communicating with each other. Is that right?
I believe so. I was talking to Miss Reed. I wasn't really paying attention to them.
Did you ever see those two men get physical with one another that night?
I did not that night. I did not see that.
Have you ever seen a full review in all the hours that you've sort of prepped for your testimony? Have you been shown that waterfall video from the time you got there until the time you left?
Not the full video, but I have seen a good portion of it, yes.
Okay, and you've certainly seen the portion where Brian Albert and Brian Higgins get up from the table and sort of get physical with one another, correct?
I would say more like play fighting, and Nick Kolakidis was a little bit like doing it with them as well.
Okay, so
So now she's included Nick into them.
Imagine that.
Right?
She includes Nick and then Karen because it's two people she doesn't like anymore. That's why.
Exactly. And when we saw,
I wonder why.
Last year, all we saw was Nick lean in and say something to them.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
Bullshit.
All I'm asking is, did they touch each other? Yes.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And you described it as play fighting, correct?
I don't. If we could watch the video, it might explain it better than I could.
We probably will.
Oh, okay.
But right now, I'm just asking about your memory.
We probably will.
Them swearing off on one another, playing, but swearing off on one another.
I don't remember them swearing off. Like I said, I just watched the video. I don't remember it from that night, and I didn't really pay attention. It looked like foolish, like guys. Just I don't even know how to describe it.
Grab ass.
How do you watch the video?
Grab
They
ass.
squared off on each other and sort of took fighting stance.
Who is grab
I
ass?
didn't look at it that in depth, so I could not say that.
Did you see them walk up to each other and grapple with one another?
Did you see one of them hump the other one?
I get that. When they grapple with one another, like faking punches.
What happened?
I don't know.
Almost like sparring a little bit.
I don't honestly know.
But you did see.
I saw them together. It's blurry, and they're kind of. I don't know really what they're doing.
Yeah, same thing here. I saw them
God,
together. It was
no.
blurry.
I saw one hump the other
They
one.
were engaging with each other, playfully, grabbing at each other. I don't really.
Is she okay? Oh,
I know.
That's double speed. I'm sorry. That's double.
You know, I'm watching this at double speed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh, and look where I paused it.
Great pause. We're
Hey,
getting
I'm so
go on.
sorry, Jen. Jen, I do not mean this. Jen, I'm sorry.
Hey, you know what though? You know what though? I do.
John, she still has your nudes.
Without an S. Okay. It's one picture.
You call it what you want. I'm just
Look
saying.
at this. It's almost as if like the glue from one of her eyelashes got stuck.
Her hair doesn't look quite as good as it did
It's
yesterday.
last.
Not bad, not bad.
No,
but not
I'll
as
tell
good as
you.
yesterday.
I liked her hair last year.
Top notch.
Last year, I liked her hair better last year than
I
this
like
year.
the highlights.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of guy.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because she didn't pay for a hair or makeup artist this morning.
Oh,
That's why she did it herself.
got a little extra. Well, she might have been. We did a 4-hour show. You know, there's a good chance that she was.
She
up
caught some of it.
until- Yeah, it might
She
have
was
been up
watching it.
until about
Forgot
11,
she
11:30.
forgot to put her cross on and put it underneath too.
Yeah, I thought that was funny how she didn't wear the cross today.
At least she should have worn it underneath.
To watch the video to categorize it as play fighting. I didn't know it was a quick clip. I wasn't like focusing on Brian and Brian. I was just identifying that was myself in the video, and there was Miss Reed, and I believe Miss Reed actually did some play fighting to Matt.
To Matt.
Yeah, I feel like she was about like this to Matt at one point. Yeah.
What did
Oh
she
yeah,
do?
she totally did.
What did she do? What did she do?
She
Did some play fighting to
tried
Matt.
with my husband.
Yeah, I feel like she was about like this to Matt at one point. Yeah, in the video.
She liked it.
I'll tell you, she's way more funny at 1.5.
Guys, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She's wide awake too at 1.5.
As if they were engaging in a fake physical altercation, correct?
I did not see that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
She didn't see a lot of things.
I saw them on the video grabbing at each other. I didn't see stances but again, I
don't
didn't pay much
recall.
attention to it.
And that's your best memory as you sit here today?
Yes.
Okay. Eventually, you,
Oh, there's the tongue.
your husband, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, Nicole, Caitlin,
I was supposed to
everybody
count
went over
that.
to 34 Fairview at the end of the night,
Yes.
correct? The bar closed at, I'm guessing, midnight.
Okay.
Is that right?
I
12:30.
think we were wrapping up around then. I don't know what time it actually was.
12:30.
When you left Waterfall, the people that were still there included Matt, your husband, and John O'Keefe. Is that right?
Yes.
You walked out with Karina Kolakifis and Karen Reed.
Yes.
And you said to Miss Reed something along the lines of, "You're coming with me," correct?
I said, why don't you come with me?
Okay, fair enough. You were prompting her to join you for the ride over to 30.
Who drove?
Who drove who?
Karen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen drove
And
John.
she has a nice Lexus, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why would Jen tell Karen, who drove her Lexus, to come with her?
Oh, she's just being nice, John.
She's just being nice. Why?
Yeah.
What was John's reason to Karen to be with him?
He needed a ride.
He was counting on her to give him a ride home.
Yeah, but that was 2 hours before, maybe 3. Things change. Things evolve.
I when I first heard this last trial, I heavily went over the fact that she purposely wanted to separate the boys from the girls, just like back in middle school, because then what would end up happening? Or like high school.
Right.
Fights would break out because that's what happens. You separate the boys from the girls, you have your private conversations, you let the boys do the boy things.
Boozy, you see what's going on down in the left-hand corner here?
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Oh my God.
He's
Who's in the
he
left?
He got.
Oh, yes, I did. The after show's gonna be lit. Let me just tell you.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a time.
We
limit. I have to go to
we
bed
gotta
by midnight.
yeah we gotta speed this show up because I need to tell you something.
And share anything? A
No,
little
no,
teaser?
no.
Don't do that, chat.
You have
Okay.
873 people that are very disappointed right now.
And let's keep going.
Is that right?
Yes.
You even went outside and sort of waited in the cold. There's a video. Have you seen the video of you outside? The surveillance video of you outside in the cold?
Yes.
And you're sort of waiting there, moving from foot to foot like it's freezing out, which I'm sure it was, correct?
Yes.
In a big puffy coat of some kind, right?
So the question was, I moving foot to foot in a coat? Yes.
My question is more, did you see yourself waiting outside the cold?
I saw myself convert. I believe I was in a conversation at that point when I was standing out there with John and Karen.
And that's when you were asking Karen to come with you?
No, I had asked Karen previously when we were at the door to come with me because I didn't know how long Matt and John were going to be in the bar.
It was Karen's car.
And that would have, by definition,
We're just gonna talk right
brought
over.
Karen
We're only gonna
to
pause if we
separate
have to.
apart from John O'Keefe if Karen
We
was with
gotta
you. Yes.
move this thing along. We're gonna move this thing along.
Miss Reed ultimately declined your invitation and did.
Of course
go
she
with
did.
John, is that right?
John ended up coming to the door, so they just went together. Yes.
And finally, you walked away and went with your husband Matt over to 34 Fairview in your personal vehicle, correct?
Yes.
In her, yeah.
When you arrived at 34 Fairview, were you the first among the group that we've just talked about to arrive, or had others arrived before you?
Others had arrived before me.
When you walked in to 34 Fairview, where was everybody generally located? Give me a layout of the interior of the home, how you walked in, and where everybody was located, the people that were there when you walked in from the waterfall.
So I walked in through the front door. I took a right into the kitchen. And then there were people sitting around the kitchen table, Brian Albert Jr.,
Yep.
Julie Nagel, Sarah Levinson,
Yep.
Caitlin Albert. My sister was over more towards like
Cleaning.
the counters in the sink. And Brian Albert and Brian Higgins were,
Nope.
there's like a room right off of the kitchen, like a TV
No, they
room,
weren't.
and they were in there
Nope.
just talking. I think Nicole had like put up some new pictures, so, or maybe the Sun and the Marines. They might have been looking at a
No,
picture.
that was
Vaguely have a
upstairs in
faint
the
memory of that.
bedroom.
John, do you think there were more
You
people
indicated
in
that you
that
walked in the front door,
house
correct?
Yes.
than they let on to?
May I approach briefly?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, you do.
I do. I think Brian was there.
More than that.
I mean, Chris. Sorry. I think Chris and Julie were there.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but what about others?
At that photograph, just a quick second.
Yes.
Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes.
What do you recognize that photograph as being?
It's my sister's house.
34 Fairview?
Yes, sorry, 34 Fairview.
Brian Albert's house as well.
Yes.
You see, that's the other thing. The whole day, she just kept saying, "My sister's house, my sister's house, She never said Brian Albert's house. She wouldn't say Brian Albert, other than her, my brother-in-law.
It's her sister's house.
When she
we
needed
shouldn't
him.
split hairs about that. should we?
Now you can see what she's doing.
I'm not saying she's
could've-
not a little manipulative, but I don't want to criticize her.
Now
on
she
that.
could have said them both together, right?
But it's when I talk about my brother's house, I don't talk about my sister-in-law.
I say George and Patty's house. No, I go,
I know you do. I'm just saying it's
Under the
different
court's
for
permission,
everybody.
I'm going to show a different exhibit until the other issue can be resolved with the court's permission. Commonwealth
Not to
Exhibit 3,
argue with you, John. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
permission to publish.
Yes.
Yep.
Ms. Court,
Publish
could
it.
you highlight or enlarge the house?
All right. So,
See the trees?
so-
See the trees? See the
see,
trees?
yeah, but look at the door. Look at the edge.
they're
Look at the
active.
tree in
That
front of
is
the door.
34 Fairview.
Look at that tree in front of that
Yeah.
door.
You, I think this
Look at that bush.
Yeah.
There's a tree in front of the door.
Well, not only
She's
that,
got to look
those-
through that angle.
Those
I'm
trees
telling
don't
you,
have leaves, so
that's a pine tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right there in front of that door.
Of
Yeah.
the just to the left of
It's
the
a little
flag. For
arborvitae.
purposes of this photograph, correct?
Look at that
Okay.
bush.
Is there another entry door on the
Yeah,
house?
no, I
Say
know.
say
A
something
little
that you can say.
overgrown.
Say
So that would
something
be-
that you
well,
can
see what he's
say
saying
on
about the door
Canton
would be kind of
Chronicle
behind that right there.
and in the
Right to left
bedroom.
of those two windows.
And Mr. McCabe, just staying with doors for a second. Is there another door associated with the garage?
Oh
Yeah, there is,
my
right there.
God,
Right there
this
next
is
to the door.
horrible.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go say Hail Mary.
Oh
in the
my
front door that night.
God.
Yes.
You indicated that once inside the house, you were sort of in the kitchen area. Is that right?
I was in the kitchen, yes.
You weren't paying special attention to Brian
No.
Albert or Brian Higgins, what they were doing. As a matter of fact, I think they went into a different room. Is that right?
There's a room, kind of the kitchen opens up into the TV room, so they were in there.
So the only two that you recognized at this point in the night, not being sort of with everybody else, were Brian Albert and Brian Higgins, separated out in the family room or whatever that room's called, living room.
Yeah, I feel like just right there, you know, right
They're
where
right
they are,
there,
kind of
right
in
there,
this room.
right there. They're right there.
When you first pulled up, did you notice any vehicles in front of Brian Albert's
Pull
house?
up, bitch.
Yes, I did.
What vehicles did you notice? Vehicle or vehicles? Did you
Just
notice?
one.
What was that vehicle?
It was a Jeep.
Can you describe the Jeep for us, please?
I really can't. All I can say is that when I
I really
pulled down,
can't.
the
It had
Jeep was
four
on the,
wheels.
parked
It
on
had
the street
four
in front
wheels
of
and a
mailbox,
plow
I
on the
turned
front.
into The driveway.
Yeah, no, she didn't even say plow though.
Did the Jeep have any special features on it that you remember that you
No.
can describe?
Not that I can recall.
Big giant snowplow on the front?
Again, it was dark. I didn't really pay much detail to it beyond I just asked whose Jeep is that.
And did you learn whose
You
Jeep
have
that was?
headlights.
Yes.
Whose Jeep was it?
It was Brian Higgins' Jeep.
And you said that it was parked in front of the mailbox. Is that right?
Yes.
So as you're looking at the house, the mailbox would be closest to the driveway. Is that right?
Yes.
Rather than, for instance, the flagpole on the other side of the lawn.
Correct. So if the flagpole's here, there's the lawn, and then here's the drive. I mean, here's the mailbox, and then the driveway's over here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does to me.
Okay.
Thank you for that. You've previously indicated that the back edge of that vehicle, Brian Higgins' Jeep, was at the side, basically, of the driveway, which is what you just described. It'd be blocking the mailbox, the rear end associated with the driveway entrance.
I gotta hit
Yes.
pause for a minute. Jeff Williams back in the chat. What do you mean she was behind the vehicle? So she came down Fairview and turned left into the driveway. And she pulled into the left side of the driveway. So that means if the Jeep was in front of the mailbox, she would have been the second car into the driveway. She didn't park behind. She wasn't behind the vehicle. No, because the driveway's behind the Jeep.
We also need to
I'm having a
remember-
conversation with Jeff.
We also need to remember the type of person Jen McCabe is and how she acts all the time. It's a pattern of behavior. Jen McCabe is a nosy little witch. She's manipulative and needs to know everything at all times. It is more likely for her to be looking around than to be looking down or looking back at girls who are drunk in the backseat.
But she was driving. So she was driving from the waterfall to the house.
Which means she has even more of an eyesight.
Yeah. So
she's-
Jeff, she drove. They came down Fairview. She's saying that there's a Jeep right in front of the mailbox, and she turned left into the driveway. And we know from the last trial, she parked on the left-hand side. Almost everybody trust me, I screen recorded everybody. Everybody parked on the left-hand side. The only one that pulled into the driveway on the right-hand side was Julie the next morning when she pulled behind Brian Albert Jr.'s vehicle. So yeah, that's Jeff. I'm like I said, we can agree to disagree, but I'm just going by what they're saying. And we're about to get to something similar. She had a big vehicle, correct, Boozy?
She had a Yukon. She said it later in testimony.
Okay. So you put her back at the front door, right? You put her Yukon on the left side of the driveway. You put that Jeep, let's say there was a Jeep in front of the mailbox. You mean to tell me she's looking out the door and can see between the Jeep and the Yukon a pickup truck?
Well, she would have seen all three, no?
No. She wouldn't have been able to see the pickup truck.
Why?
Put yourself in the front door of the house. Put her Denali in the second spot in the left-hand side of the driveway.
The headlights are on, no?
And then put the Jeep in front of the mailbox.
You're gonna see. The
Denali's gonna block the pickup truck.
Yeah,
She
you're
couldn't
right.
see the
You're
pickup
right,
truck.
but she's gonna see lights.
Yeah,
She may not see the vehicle, but
shining on the Jeep.
See that there is 100%. So she
Right.
knows there's three vehicles there.
Right.
She may not know the make and model of the third
No,
one.
right. I mean, she doesn't even know she has a Yukon Denali. And I'm not being silly. She doesn't. She
No,
didn't.
It is what. Yeah, I mean,
This is also
this is all at a glance.
Can we also remember that Jen McCabe herself has a Jeep Wrangler?
White one.
Yeah,
Period.
Right.
She knows Jeeps.
correct. Yeah. Yep. Make sure that's not my, just make sure it's not my mole. We're good.
And I don't know if this was covered while I was getting a Pricks Insider, but the vehicle that Karen was driving that she explained was pulled up in front of the house next door, which would have had a view that included trees in front of it. I mean, is that even possible? I mean, she couldn't have seen. She might have seen the car, but she couldn't have seen that somebody was in the car.
Right. I don't know. Listen, Nancy, you don't have to put Boozy at the beginning of your text. I will put your texts up from time to time. All right. Just, anyways.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. All right. Let's keep going.
Have you ever discussed having seen that Jeep in that spot with anybody else in this case?
Is that including previous testimony or?
It is. At any time. Before you
Ever.
testified at the previous
Ever.
hearing, you
Does
discussed
that ever
having
means
seen that Jeep in
ever?
that spot
Why would you
with
ask
anybody
that
else,
question?
Your husband.
She asks a lot of questions because she's trying. I get it. She doesn't want to get caught saying a wrong answer.
And
she's very self-conscious.
You don't,
She is
you
very
don't, you don't
self-conscious.
think that she's got a little
Curb line.
sparring battle
Other than the Jeep when
going
you
with
pulled
her?
in.
Yeah.
Not that I
Alan
remember.
Jackson
And
and
Brian Higgins,
she thinks she's a
he's in the house. That
little
Jeep's not
bit
moving.
more
Correct. So stay where it
crafty
was.
than
Yes.
Alan.
I think she's very competitive.
I'm
At
not
some point, did
disagreeing
you
with you.
And I'm telling
observe
you right now,
Miss Reed's
Jeff
vehicle
Williams.
Pull up to the driveway. I'm sorry, pull up to the house.
I said at the
I was
beginning.
told there was a vehicle outside. so I
She's a
went and
stronger
Where was
woman
that
than
vehicle?
most.
When you looked that first time,
100%.
where was Miss Reed's SUV?
Yeah,
when I went to the front door and looked
I
out,
know.
straight ahead.
I know.
So that would be
right there. If that's
parallel.
true,
What if recording
well,
high-quality content,
doesn't all
editing
look
like a
there,
pro,
right?
and streaming like a star
Hold
was
on.
as simple as hitting record?
Insider.
Actually in line with.
Okay.
The Jeep,
John, I
correct?
didn't even know you had that.
Directly in front of the Jeep.
I don't know the distance, but yes, you're correct. It was in front of the Jeep.
So if the Jeep was a normal, it's a full-size Jeep, correct?
I don't know what size it is.
Certainly the SUV is a full-size SUV.
Yes.
All right. So that would take up much of the room of the curb area in front of 34 Fairview between the Jeep, assuming there's a snowplow,
Right.
and a full-size SUV, correct?
I'm not really sure of the whole area, but there was the Jeep and then there was the car. I just don't know the distance between them.
You gave a description of the vehicles that were out in front of 34 Fairview in your January 29, 2022 interview with Trooper Proctor.
there's only
Correct.
two. There's only two
He came
roads
to my
that
house
go
and
to
asked me questions,
34
correct?
Fairview.
When you gave that interview to Trooper Proctor,
Technically.
you indicated to him that you first observed Miss Reed's vehicle parked on the street by the driveway.
It's the news.
correct?
I never said by the driveway, no.
So if that's in a
I know,
report,
huh?
Trooper
Bad
Proctor got that
news.
fact wrong, got that detail wrong.
You can't just. So listen, people in the chat. I spend my time cutting video for you people. You can't just come in and say the news tonight said Jen is a master manipulator. You got to tell me what news. 4, 5, 7, 10, 25? You know?
John,
PB
don't get angry with the chat.
help me out, people. You know?
Constructive criticism's fine, but don't, we love our chat.
I do. I love you. I love you guys.
Right, Boozy?
Yes.
Yes.
At one point, when Mike Lank was in the house, he had separated and talked to Nicole, then Brian, then Matt.
And then he promptly left and left everybody in the house together, correct?
He left us, yeah.
Right.
Sure he did. Yeah. You know what happened there? Everybody else in the first trial testified that they all sat around the kitchen table as Mike Lank asked them questions. But she said he singled us out. Careful of the dog. Watch the dog.
John.
Sustained.
We're going. We're moving. We're moving.
If, in fact,
Who the hell's stapling shit?
well, let me ask it this way. What did you say to Trooper Proctor about where that
Oh, it
vehicle
was the
was?
3-ring binder.
Miss Reed's vehicle?
Yes, they're binders.
Correct.
I told him it was straight out front, the window. The straight out front of the front door. Sorry.
Trooper Proctor will report about his interview with you. Correct.
Correct?
You've seen that report in other hearings, is that right?
Yes.
Cut it out!
Your interview with him was
I try to put a thing up and Eric keeps
I
taking
tried
it
to
off.
put the same thing up 3 times.
on January 29th. Do you remember the date?
I'm
sorry,
going
I
to
just said
give
the date. Remember
Boozy the
time.
controls and make
Don't
I'm
remember
going
the
back
time.
to that
I'm
one.
assuming afternoon, like after 12, or I'm not 100%. Sorry.
You'd been contacted by Trooper Proctor while you were still at 34 Fairview, is that right?
I'm Izzy.
Ultimately, instead of coming
Nice to
from
see you, Izzy.
the Canton Police Department to 34 Fairview, you went home to your house.
I did,
To
yes.
the Country Lane address.
Yes, I did.
And Trooper Proctor ended up meeting you there,
took her
correct?
brother-in-law
Yes,
with her.
In addition to you and Matt being there, Brian Albert showed up, correct?
Of course,
I asked him to come.
So you asked your brother-in-law to come
because he
to
fixes
the
everything.
interview that you were having with Trooper Proctor formally in furtherance of his investigation surrounding the circumstances of this case.
No.
But Brian Albert did show up at your house.
He did. I asked him to come,
And he
yes.
was inside the house when Trooper Proctor ultimately...
Yeah, he was up on her bed.
He was in the house, yes.
And you'd spoken
Yeah.
to Brian Albert before
Real
Trooper
tan or
Proctor
spray
interviewed you
tan?
formally, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Spray
But in
tan.
fact, several times you
So
actually
she's
spoke to him
been
at 34
fired.
Fairview
She's
before he
gonna
said
be
that.
rude
Oh, right, yeah.
to
We
me.
were all there in the
And
kitchen.
then obviously
Oh, dude,
you spoke to him
that's a spray
about the interview
tan.
before Trooper Proctor got to your house to interview you on the 29th as well, correct?
Yeah, it's a spray tan.
It is because
I'm
it,
thinking.
as
There's a
someone
little perspiration going on up
I
here.
also think she got a nose job. It's a little skinnier than last year.
as someone who used to work in the industry, that's a spray tan because it already had faded from the day beforehand.
Yeah.
How about
See,
the hair?
right-
Boozy, how about the hair? Yesterday's hair was phenomenal.
That's
Yeah,
180.
because this is 2-day hair, and she
This is
probably
2-day
just woke,
hair.
yeah, she
Yeah,
probably
it's
just
under-
woke up, fixed it a little bit, but
A
yeah.
little late getting out of bed,
A
maybe.
stressful day the day before, and she knew Cross
Well,
was
let's see
coming
what
today.
tomorrow. Let's see what Friday brings. We gotta freshen it up for Friday.
I
Freshen up
I
Friday.
just want to put a shout out to anybody that might be watching me. Hi.
Jeff Williams. This might be the time to get Jeff on the show.
Jeff, you want to come on?
You're welcome. We're all
Jeff?
nice. You can tell.
Jeff,
Boozy, you're nice, right?
we'll put the link in the chat, Jeff. Do you want to come on, Jeff? Or do you want us to keep going? I'll wait for you.
Go and bring Jeff
right, we'll
on.
keep
Jeff
going.
can
We'll just
join
keep
us
going.
and
We'll just
you
keep
know
going.
be part of the
Right.
party.
We were just talking about what happened. It wasn't specifically about Trooper Proctor.
Right, not about Trooper Proctor. You talked to Brian Albert about the circumstances of this case.
Big day
before you
Friday,
spoke.
Jeff?
Yes, I had.
Sorry. Sorry.
Do you remember exactly what you said to Trooper Proctor about the location of the incident?
Imagine if Jeff was really Jen and he was
I
being
know what I
nice to
said,
me
yes.
because he really does like me.
I said the car was straight out front
I hate to
of
say
the
it,
front
Jen
door. When I was looking
McCabe.
out the front door, it was straight ahead.
Instead of Jeff Williams, it's Jen McCabe. I mean, it's a
Mr.
J,
is that-
right?
You first observed the vehicle parked on the street
never
by the
know.
driveway facing
You
in the
never
direction
know.
toward Chapman. Okay.
Those are not
Hey.
my words, no.
Hey,
Cheers,
that's
cheers to
Opal.
them, no matter what.
Opal. Yes.
Her forehead
yeah.
doesn't move.
Opal, that's a yes.
You've already indicated
And
that
it was,
following the events of January 28th and 29th, you have spoken extensively with your family and your friends.
how do you
members of
say
your
it
family
without
that
really
your friend
saying
group
it?
about what
That
happened that night.
Jeff-
perhaps
Jeff-
it.
Jeff
That includes
says
Brian and
he's
Nicole Albert, is that
not
right? Yes,
Jen.
that includes
Oh, okay.
Matt McCabe, your husband.
All right.
correct?
Well,
That includes Chris and Judy Albert.
Opal, it
Includes other people that
let's
that
just
were there
say
that night,
it
including Brian
could have
Higgins.
been a
I haven't
place
spoken
in
to Brian Higgins
Canton that
since,
may
I believe,
have
John O'Keefe's
connections
But you
to
did
a
speak to him that morning
TK
at 34 Fairview. So
Oh, yes, he was there, yes.
that
As a matter of fact,
may
he's the
have
one that
been
told you to call
involved
Officer
in
Light back
making
and have Officer Light
holes in
come
a
back,
house
for the additional
the
statement
night
if you
before
would have been Officer
Thanksgiving.
Light. Is that right?
He may have suggested it, I'm not sure.
So in those discussions that you've had with all these folks, you've talked to the details about that night being at the bar, the house, who was where, all of those things, correct?
Yes.
You've talked about the timing of the night, who arrived, when people
Nancy,
arrived.
that's
at
what she
34 Fairview,
said.
When people arrived at Waterfall Bar and Grill, correct?
No, those really aren't details we discuss. I mean, everybody kind of knows when they came and when they left. We talk more about, living with
John, you're
everything that
okay.
we've gone through.
Well, what about on the morning of January 29th, when everybody was still in that
like this,
sort of
whenever a comment comes up.
friends and family gathering
Mullins
inside
come
34th
down
Avenue?
and give
When I was there
him
with
a
my husband
slap
and
in the
sister and
face.
brother-in-law, and then Brian's friend and Julie Albert, I was trying to piece together what had happened.
course
They
you
were
were.
all being supportive. They had no idea what happened. We were just kind of sitting there in utter shock, waiting to hear from Kerry about John.
Utter
It was
shock.
nothing more than just us being together and trying to figure out what had happened. I had gotten a phone call from Karen to help her,
And
here's
during
where
that
I am.
conversation, or that series of conversations, you were sharing what your observations of that evening were, what your story was, how the evening started, how it ended for you, correct? Or the morning ended for you,
We
correct?
didn't, no.
Oh my God, look
correct.
at the dog on top of you.
During the time that you folks were inside the house discussing this, there
Dog
a
was
law
like
enforcement
on Jen's
agent
head.
or officer inside that house, correct?
Correct.
So the entire family and the friend network that we're talking about, with whom you discussed all these events, everybody was entitled to and did coordinate their statements without any separation and without any law enforcement oversight, correct?
I was with my family. My sister, my brother-in-law, it wasn't really a
Mm-hmm.
big group of us. As I've mentioned, I had 5 or 6 people. I was in shock. I didn't know what had happened. They were just asking me what happened.
And you told
Questions
them?
like that, and I absolutely told them. But
Okay.
it was no story. There was no us being allowed to do it. That was my family. They were just there with me.
But nobody was separated by law enforcement, correct?
See,
I don't
that's
believe there was a
so
reason to separate
there's a
them.
little
Well,
truth to
notwithstanding what you
that.
think was the reason, you're not a
Remember,
professional.
I said I would be devil's advocate,
Yeah, go ahead.
right? You can see the way she was kind of shrugging and like, yeah. If what happened was an accident and you're just trying to piece together like what the fuck happened last night, and you're sitting around the table, right? Because the cops didn't tell you can't sit around your table because you didn't do anything, right? You can see that. Like, what the Jesus? We just saw him at the bar. I know. I thought I saw him out front. I know. Well, where'd they go? I don't know. You know, so that's probably what happened.
So John, under what you just said, how did John O'Keefe end up in front of where that flagpole was?
I don't know. That's what happens. You know, maybe he got to the front door and then turned around to run back out. Got hit by a plow. I don't know.
All I know, John, is some high-ranking Boston cop,
Yeah.
3-4 days after the fact, said they had Ring camera footage.
Oh,
of
you
Karen
mean Gregory Long?
Oh, yeah, I think that was the guy.
Gregory Long,
That
from
Karen would
who
load
lives
him
only
down.
a mile away from 34th Fairview, over well, no, a little more than a mile, off of Lawrence Street. Yeah,
Imagine that.
off of Bolivar and Lawrence. Yeah, another one.
Boozy.
Who used to be one of Brian's partners.
No way.
You're not a trained investigator.
No.
You're certainly not a homicide detective, correct?
No.
None of you witnesses were ever separated, were you, that morning?
There was no reason to separate us.
I'm not asking you if there was a reason, okay? I'm asking you whether or not factually everybody was separated in that house. Or is everybody allowed to talk amongst themselves?
I was with my family. We didn't need to be allowed.
Okay. I'm trying this again. Was anybody in that house separated? Were the witnesses separated from each other? The family, who are witnesses, were they separated from each other?
There's the lick lip.
At that point, I don't think anyone but myself and Matt
Are
were
you
maybe even
telling me
witnesses.
that she doesn't realize what an investigation is? I mean, you haven't all watched television.
By law enforcement before you were able to
I know.
discussions about
Nobody's watched when they bring someone down to the station, and they're a witness,
When
and
my
they
wife
still
was in the house,
record
we
them,
had
but
somebody to talk
they
to
block
Noah
out
and
the
Brian
face,
and Matt. Mhm.
right?
I mean,
And they.
You can watch Blue
left us,
Bloods
yeah.
and know what's going on.
I know.
nobody was taken down.
No,
to the
but when
station,
you
is that
watch
right?
Discovery and they're like that,
Matter of
oh,
fact,
what's that? Another
to the property
48
that
hours
you
or whatever it's
told
called.
the scene of the
Yeah,
incident,
right.
the
And they bring the
scene-
witnesses in.
I
They're
also
never
stayed
in the
at my
same
house because I had to
room.
go home to my children.
Ever.
accommodated you, didn't
And they
you?
talk
did.
like
And
this.
they accommodated
They
the fact
talk.
that Brian Albert escorted you to the house
You know?
for your interview, correct?
Brian didn't escort me, no.
Brian didn't
OMG.
escort her.
To your house at the same time.
She
that
wasn't
Proctor did the
escorted.
interview, correct?
He came
Well,
at
that's
some
good.
point, yes, by himself.
Before Trooper Proctor did the interview.
I'm not sure if he was there, if he got there before or when.
Well,
he arrived.
Sure he
you
does.
testified in the past that
Yes.
Brian Albert came to your house alone. I don't mean you came in the same car. They followed you over to your house before Trooper Proctor ever got there. And he was in the house.
Oh,
when Trooper Proctor,
look
did
at
the interview,
that.
correct?
Yes, Brian was in the house.
Ah, so that could be maybe. Did you see that?
Read it, John. Read it.
The objection when Alan Jackson was asking Jen McCabe about her conversation with Matt, lying to the feds about who she spoke to, may have had something to do with spousal privilege.
Imagine
What are
that.
you laughing at, Boozy? Did you mute and laugh? Are you muting and laughing at us?
I have been doing this for maybe a minute straight.
I know, I saw it up there, but I'm also on multiple screens.
Only.
Oh, that's your
JC.
Boozy Bobby? Wait, is that you?
No, does this look like me?
No. When you back it up a little bit, back your phone up. All we saw, right there.
Oh,
right
there
there.
you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
It's
that
not.
you right there?
Boozy,
No.
who is that?
Who do you think it is?
Jim
Oh,
McCabe.
it's Jenny.
Did you get your Barbie
Jenny!
yet? Hey, did you get your Barbie yet? Your Boozy Barbie yet?
No.
What the heck?
What?
She's a little slow.
No, no, no. I will kick your ass.
No.
I will kick your ass.
John, you're a big cat,
No.
but my money's on
I'm gonna have to
Boozy.
talk to her tomorrow.
First of all,
I will
you
be.
want to fuck with Obach,
Yeah.
and then you want
I
to
know.
double that with me?
Mark, you're
I
right. The
thought
first
you were
48.
Paul, but-
Mark
I'm just
Shirashello. Mark Shirashello. First 48, right? They bring the witnesses in. They blur out their faces. They make they change the voice, right? And they're just witnesses, but not in Canton. They sit
I
around a
remember
kitchen
him
table.
with the,
John, you've been in one of those rooms.
No. Well, I did in Belmont when I used to deliver the
just in
Coca-Cola.
Belmont.
Well, no, I used to deliver the Coca-Cola to the Belmont police station, and that's where they kept all the soda was in one of the cells. It was, yeah.
They put you in the soda cell.
I was in the soda cell. Yeah. The thing was only like it was barely 5 foot tall, too. I had to duck my head to bring the soda into the cell. I'm like, who the heck goes in these things? It's tiny. Yep. All right, keep going. We got to keep going. We got to move this along here.
Hey, John,
I'm gonna have to fast forward
Are
to
we
the end.
after lunch yet? Or
No, but you know what? Let's
I mean,
move
it
to
is
after
10.
lunch.
It's 10 o'clock.
I know.
Oh,
Let's.
let's go.
Oh, that was lunch right there. Look at that. Huh? Look at that. We'll just get to after.
I
oh,
gotta
here we
work
go.
tomorrow,
All right, hold on.
and you got
Here we
shit
go.
to tell me.
We're after lunch. I know. Oh, look at this. Here we go.
Boozy.
All right. Oh, you're right. Look, they put him in the back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they kicked him out.
They moved him around.
Look,
He
he
got put
doesn't.
in timeout.
Carl
Hey, is
Dougal.
Carl Dugal doing the Diamond Dallas Page?
Is it Dougal or Dugal?
It's Carl Dugal. He's done.
Wow.
We're not
Wait,
giving him
wasn't his-
Steven
wasn't-
Seagal type of. No, he's Dougal.
No, he's Carl Dugal. Because remember,
Sorry
during
about the delay, Jared. We were told that we blew a fuse, and that's why we couldn't get started on
oh,
time.
they blew
so,
a fuse.
These old courthouses. So.
These old
All right, we
She's got an
appreciate it.
excuse every
Go ahead, Mr.
time.
Jackson.
Thank you, Your
She
Honor.
is good.
Mr. McCabe,
She
when you
is
first
good.
saw-
She
you signed up and
panders.
pulled up very
She's a
shortly.
panderer.
Sent a text
She
to
signed
John
up
Keith,
with
correct?
Netflix.
She's a panderer.
I walked to the door, saw the car, and that's when I sent him a text, yes.
Right. So you walked up to the door, saw the SUV outside, and then texted him something at that, basically while you're standing at the door.
I believe so,
What
yes.
did you text him?
Here?
Okay.
Here.
That was, do you remember the time?
I don't know.
Would it refresh your recollection if you were to look at a series of text messages
No,
contained in a
it
cell
wouldn't.
record? I think you've seen this before.
Sure.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, it wouldn't. They argue about this. Let's just go a little further in.
May I ask one foundational question?
Okay.
before I-
Yeah. Ask the foundation
Okay, I'm gonna
question
ask you
because
about
I'm
a-
just going to fast forward right here to the end.
All right.
All right, let's get the last.
Lunchtime.
All right. Jeez, those eyes are huge.
I don't need to see my transcript. I know
They're
what
like
I
a
know what I-
doll's eyes. They roll over before they
We're
eat
fighting
you.
over silly words, whether I said it as I got out of the car or we were there.
Words matter. They matter a lot.
Okay, so remember, Mr. Jackson, no comments.
No comments, Mr. Jackson.
It's okay. Tell you answer your question.
Okay.
Do you remember exactly how it is that you testified last year?
I do not know.
Hey, blew a fuse.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, the hair's not that bad. It really isn't. It's just it looked better the first day.
Reading some of my notes that I was just like taking, note of. She
Yep.
kept saying about her going back and forth to the front door. She was just like, I was just back and forth to the front door. But then I noted, but why can't Karen Reed do something similar when she thinks John is missing? It's a similar trauma response, anxiety. You know what I mean? Because she was going back and forth, back and forth, back and
Okay.
forth, and then she was fighting it. No, you don't have to go back.
No,
you
no.
know how she was fighting the testimony, and then she finally admitted it. And I'm like, well, it's different situations, but it's a similar response. Why?
Wait a
can't she-
minute.
Why
How
can't
many
she do it
steps? How many steps did she take?
You're really gonna make me do research right now?
No. That's for
Boozy.
tomorrow. Boozy, that's for
Yeah.
tomorrow. I want you to line up the steps that she took
Are you
with
making me do homework?
tomorrow.
No, but I have a question.
Who do you think I am?
I have a
want you
question.
to line up. I want you to line up the steps she took to see if it lines up with 5 times back and forth. Because she kept saying she went back and sat down at the table with the kids, and then she'd get up and go to the door. Right during those times, whatever those times that she texted John from all the from here, pull up behind me, what all that. There should have been a bunch of steps back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Around what time would have that been?
People, do you know what time those texts were when she said, pull up behind me?
I got it.
Here.
It'll be on Sleuthy. Don't worry. Sleuthy has everything.
Boozy will be up until 3 in the morning with
No,
this.
it won't.
She's got
Sleuthy has it all
ADD.
on her documents. Make it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys all for being with us.
It
All
was like-
7 of you. Who the freak? Oh, yeah. No. Yep.
You coming here? Let me see.
Okay. Let's go back. While you're doing that, I'm going to find a good spot to finish up this little thing with.
So she texted John at. Actually, I do have it noted somewhere.
Boozy, can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
Did you watch any of the after court interviews that Karen did today?
No, because when you guys went live was pretty much when I got done watching Jen today.
Hey, Eric.
How about you, John? Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Look at the comment.
Oh, I see it. That was the same comment as yesterday.
Hey, Gary, in the pre-show,
at 8:00.
In the pre-show, we said that you would come on and say that exact fucking saying.
You guys had a pre-show and didn't invite me?
You would
Yeah, we
definitely
did.
invite
Stop.
it. John just forgot to send the text.
The link.
He typed it in.
So now
Forgot
I'm
to
paying
hit
for
send.
wow.
You are John. I text you like I texted
Dude,
2 minutes before.
I was on the phone with you when you're like, dude, put the show in. So hook the show up. I'm like, I did. And I thought I sent you guys a link because you came in.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I come in by going through my StreamYard account.
Oh, because you're a co-host.
Yes. So you don't have to send me the link for me to come in.
Right.
You got to send it to Boozy.
I have to
But you
send the
should
link out,
make
yeah.
her a co-host so that she could get in because you know what?
Can't.
She's a freaking co-host.
I can't.
Why can't you?
Oh, well,
Because I'm
upgrade.
on the cheapest level
Pay an
at
extra- pay an extra
$44 a month.
Can you buy a T-shirt and help us out?
I'm at $44 a month, which is the lowest level right now. So
Just
whatever
one
12
t-shirt.
times 44 is.
And if you buy the Nan one, we'll donate the money to.
So I'm at 405. It's like $500 a year, and yeah, so I got the cheapest one, and it gives me one co-host.
I mean, there's no reason for more,
I don't
but
think it- I
you
don't
got to,
think
you
it-
know, you at least got to hit send when you're talking to all of us.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm only
And then
allowed to
there's-
have 9 people on here.
Oh, because well then some may feel left out, especially when there's only 3 of us.
But Boozy, let me ask you a quick question because this is important. to
Wait,
me.
Gary, throw us a trivia question in the chat. Let's see if we can get it.
Oh God, here
Kiko.
comes the ADHD squirrel.
No, just you go ahead. It'll take him a couple minutes to type it.
Boozy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen? I mean, I don't know how long you've been following like true crime or anything like that, or even just watching it on TV.
My whole
But
life.
are there any lawyers that you know that would let Karen do what she did today after she walked out of court and answered every question that the press asked?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I sent you videos. I was hoping you were going to be able to.
Dude, you sent me him at friggin' 5
I
minutes
know,
before we were on the
I know,
show.
but that's when I saw him. I'm like, holy shit, we need to put those in the show.
I
But
can't download them that
Karen,
quick.
I'll tell you, I have not seen such a confident defendant in my entire life, ever. This woman is solid. She'll answer any question you got. Now, I hear the other side saying, yeah, well, is she going to take the stand? Well, she doesn't need to take the stand. But if she's willing to stand in front of the media that's outside that courtroom, take every single question and answer them, good for her. You know something? Brennan can always bring those answers and that video into the courtroom if he wants.
Right. And he can twist it however they want.
Twist it. He can stop it, start it wherever he wants, make it look as bad as he wants. But when I watch it beginning to end, I see a very, very, very confident defendant who isn't worried about much.
Right. Do you know what I think was like probably the most odd moment of this entire day was when they said how many pages her grand jury testimony was from
227.
227. I'm playing that number for the rest of my life.
You may not want to. I think someone's fucking haunting her.
Gary, there's 7. Gary, there's 7.
I'm joining the town club and asking them for 227 for my number. So when they spin the wheel, I got.
Oh my God, that used to be Jack Hay. Used to be on 227.
Stop it.
Jack Hay, yeah, on 227. It was a sitcom called 227.
That's awesome.
With Jack Hay.
It's Bizarro World with 227.
It was like an apartment building, and Jack Hay was in it. Yeah. Right? See, Jack Hay, Harris. Yeah, it was a good show. It was all right.
Boozy, you know
funny.
what he's talking about? Is this
No.
your time?
Oh my God! It was before she was in.
That's what I figured.
Let me see when that sitcom was actually on. The sitcom 227.
John.
1985.
But what show was it?
227.
Oh, yeah, no idea.
It went for 5 seasons.
I've never heard of it.
What years?
With Jack Hay.
What years?
1985.
Oh, that was a year before I graduated high school.
That's a song.
And look, it was 227. See?
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. With Jack Hay.
How is this even possible?
Wasn't Steve Harvey in that?
I guarantee you tomorrow, or I should say Friday.
It was kind of like a Jeffersons.
There'll be another 227 moment.
It was kind of like the Jeffersons. Let's see who was cast in that. Oh, Hal Williams. That's who it was. It was Hal Williams. Yeah. Marla Gibbs. Yeah, because it was a takeoff of Jeffersons. Marla Gibbs, Jack Hay, Harry, not Harris. Yeah.
Love the Jeffersons.
Yeah. Regina King. Yeah. Helen Martin.
I just want to let everyone know before anyone sees a bunny on my computer, it's a chocolate bunny.
Oh my God, I thought you had a real rabbit.
I actually love animals.
Really? Are you going to bite its ear off? Right now?
I love that. Good for you.
Boozy, are you going to bite its ear off?
One more bite. One more bite.
Go ahead.
I did a huge chunk. Like solid of a rock.
Hey, give Jen a bite. Give Jen a bite.
I got to start clipping
give Jen
some
a
of
bite.
these.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the dog's right there. I can't. The dog's going to eat it.
Give Jen a bite. Oh my God. And under the armpit bite.
The dog is right there. I can't. Get me off the screen.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Go back.
The dog.
Be nice, John. There he is. Center attention.
Yeah.
I told you the dog is right here. Okay.
All right, let's get to that last 30 minutes. People, we're going to go through the last 30 minutes at 1.5 speed. So what's that?
Yeah, because you got
18
shit
minutes.
to tell us that you
yeah,
won't tell
18 minutes.
Else.
So we'll be done in 18 minutes, and then it'll be good. We'll be out in 2.5 hours, which is way better than the 3 hours and 40 minutes. So let's go. Here we go.
John said, "Come on, be my co-host."
All right. Oh Jesus! There's a sidebar. Oh, and she's got her Stanley. The judge has her Stanley.
Page 192, line
Yeah.
4.
John, can we see
For
the
context,
court?
The what?
The court. Can we see it?
Oh.
Hey, how's your Pricks Insider?
It's not that. Hold on.
No.
We gotta go to there. Okay, here we go. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Are
Calm
you
down,
okay,
Boozy.
Boozy?
Were you
Boozy?
talking about the statement that was made in Karen's car on that morning before you got to the scene?
192.
192, line 4.
Oh, wait. I gotta back it up a tiny bit so we get to 227. Hold on.
How about the fact that Jackson wanted her to read all?
Yes.
You read it in anticipation of your testimony?
Seven
today,
of them.
correct?
I'll wait.
Yes, I reviewed it.
Have you reviewed it in preparation for your testimony today?
No,
Or
I haven't.
Yesterday. Ms. McCabe, turn to the page or pages in that transcript where you recount to the grand jurors that my client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
This is over 227 pages.
There it is. There it is.
227, and she said it.
I know.
And she said it.
I gotta slow this down just for this one.
I want to just tell my trolls. I mean,
Here we go.
She said it, trolls.
Here we go. You ready?
You recount to the grand jurors that my client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
This is over 227 pages.
How long did you
Gary.
say it was, Ms. McCabe?
227?
The judge even asked her.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I reviewed it a year ago, yes.
So 3 times.
See, Auntie
3 times.
Auntie Bev's.
How long did you?
She's playing
Wait a
it straight.
Yeah, I know she played it. Here we go. Ready? This is
This is over 227
One.
pages.
take your time.
How long did you say it was, Ms. McCabe?
227.
2,
Put it together.
Not going to let her read 227.
3.
Not gonna say.
I reviewed it a year ago, yes.
You read the whole thing cover to cover, didn't you?
I skimmed through
I
it.
skimmed through it. Cliff notes.
One of the most important points in your testimony yesterday and today
Oh, I love this part.
is recounting these jurors
Yep.
the phrase, I hit him,
I hit him.
hit him,
I hit him.
I hit him. Is that right?
Objection.
Do you know how many times it's in that grand jury testimony of
Important to
227
you
pages?
To tell these jurors that you heard my client say, I hit him 3 times.
I answered the questions, and I'm telling the jurors what I know.
Was it important to you before testifying today that you recount to these jurors the phrase, I hit him, coming out of my client's mouth?
Your client said she hit him, yes.
That's not my question. Listen to my question, Ms. McCabe.
I'm sorry.
Was it important to you before you testified
She's so sorry.
She's
to
so
tell
sorry.
these jurors under oath
I'm
that my
sorry.
client said, I hit
Nice
him
tan though.
3 times?
As a juror, I mean, as a witness,
juror.
it's important to tell the truth and to answer the question
Can you
you were
spell
asked.
juror?
And in point of fact, in your entire grand jury testimony, you never
Stugotz.
said, my client said the
Exactly.
words, I hit him. Did you?
Stugotz.
Again, it's 227 pages.
Ms. McCabe, you were there. They're your words. I'm not asking you to rehearse
I
something.
can't believe he didn't
You were there.
pick up on that.
Did
one.
you tell the grand jurors that my client said I hit him?
I have testified a number of times, but I was there the morning of January 29th when your client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Did you
She's
tell
a
that to the grand
professional.
jurors?
I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, she's. This is the spa right here. This is it. This is
Oh,
round
yeah,
8.
this
Yeah.
is-
Ms.
Sag
McCabe,
the
you were
herd.
asked
Oh yeah.
in your grand jury testimony no fewer than a dozen times, 12 times, 12 separate times,
Boozy's
you were
checked
asked
out.
to repeat words that my client said both before, going to, and at the
This
scene.
dog is driving me up a wall. That's what's happening over
Tell
here.
him to go lay down.
Do you know the answer to that?
No.
She's a husky. She doesn't stay still.
You were asked multiple times what my client's words were that you heard her say going to and at the scene, correct?
I was correct.
And you recounted those words truthfully and honestly at that time, correct?
Correct.
Because you were under the same oath that you're under today.
Which means
Correct.
nothing.
And things were much fresher in your mind then than they are now 3.5 years later. Would you agree with that?
I hit him,
John,
I
you don't
hit him,
think
I
she's
hit
being
him. It's
truthful?
just as fresh today as it was 3 years ago.
Turn to page 190, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
Of the 227. 190 of
For Court and
227.
Counsel lines 10 and 11.
Somebody who's got an FBI ice cream truck. Someone just sent me.
A friend of yours.
No, someone just said someone beat you to it.
Which lines? I'm sorry.
10 and 11.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. At least, hey, I'll tell you, she's got manners. She's not uncouth.
You recounted what Miss Reed said to you over the phone to the grand jurors, correct?
Correct.
And what she said
Correct.
at 4:53 a.m. was, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? She didn't say it. She asked it, correct?
She didn't say that at 4:53.
Did you testify that what Miss Reed said to you that morning over the phone was, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
Yes, I did.
May I approach?
Yes.
That's awesome, John.
Here we go. Really? Someone fucking just.
What happened?
Someone just texted me saying that, I'm very funny, that they need to watch my show because they were watching Bettero on Nurse Kim.
I will, with each one.
How rude. They're going to watch me on replay.
John.
If you turn to page 192.
I'm not sending them any more funnies. No, they're not getting any more funny out of me.
The people that are watching
I'm like
are,
dance
are,
monkey?
the loyal,
No.
are the loyalists.
No, I'm not a
Line
dance
4.
monkey.
Chimpanzee.
What did you tell the grand jurors my client said in that answer?
Could I have hit him? See what she did?
She was
See what
looking
she
for
just
the
did?
objection.
She was looking for the objection.
Are you shitting me? I got to answer that
What did you
question.
tell the grand jurors
Here we go.
my
Watch
client
this.
said in that answer?
Foundation.
Imagine that.
What are we talking about?
Imagine that.
She knew. She knew. There's the lifeline.
Hey,
What did you tell the grand jurors my client said in that answer?
are you fucking shitting me?
Huh?
What are we talking about?
I'll ask it a different way. Did you answer a question on page 192, line 4,
She's smart.
concerning my client's statement?
Oh, she's no dummy.
Did I answer a question?
You were answering a question, correct?
That's why she's
Oh,
the
yes,
mastermind.
yes. I'm sorry.
And the answer that you gave to the grand jurors was, she said, could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, that's part of the answer I gave.
Turn to page 193.
I'd object.
Look at her look. See?
So I don't want to have to see it sidebar. We need context in order for this to be admissible, Mr. Jackson. I have no idea what that said.
Your Honor, everyone, I can make an offer of proof at sidebar, if you wish.
Okay, why don't you come to sidebar?
Sure.
All right.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What's he whispering? Huh, Kyle? What'd you whisper?
Kyle's a,
Kyle,
can I say it?
good
Kyle's a douche.
I know.
May I approach the witness?
Yes. Do you have an extra copy for yourself,
I have
Mr.
notes.
Jackson?
Okay.
No, I'm good. I don't need an extra copy.
He's got it
There's
memorized.
Stanley. There's Bev with her Stanley.
On page 192, line 4,
192 or
context, were you
227.
talking about a statement that was made in Karen's car on that morning before you got to the scene?
192.
192, line 4.
The ending is awesome when he goes, we can't end like
Yes,
this.
that was a comment she made in the car.
And she said the phrase, you recounted that she said the phrase, could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, that was part of my answer.
Take a look at page 193, line 1 through 2. This was also in the context of a conversation that was in Karen's car, correct?
Yes.
And the phrase that you attributed to my client was, could I have hit him? The question, correct?
Yes.
Page 193, line 23. In the context of being in John's
look at those
driveway,
eyes.
One Meadows,
Yes.
and you attributed the statement, and she's asking if she could have hit him, correct?
Yes, when she showed me her taillight.
Page 201,
She had to get that part in.
lines 23 and 24.
See that? She's smart.
Oh yeah. No, there's no flies on her. She's no,
No,
dummy.
no,
I mean,
she's-
it's
Driving
a long
too
day,
fast.
so she's gonna make mistakes, but for the most part,
But she
she's
kept
on point.
up.
On
Yeah.
point.
She asked, what if I hit him? Could I have hit him? Correct?
Can you tell me the lines?
I'm sorry, lines 23 and 24. Page 201.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Hi, Boozy.
Okay, I've read it.
Boozy,
She
this
stated,
is the ending.
according to you,
Stanley.
what if I hit him?
This is the
Could I
ending.
have
This
hit
is
him?
where they get in their
Correct?
little fight.
Yes, she did.
Page 202, top of the page, line 1 and 2. Again, in context, this is driving to Fairview before you arrived at Fairview. And she again asked, quote, according to you and your testimony in front of the grand jury, could I have hit him? Correct?
Yes, I see that here as part of my answer.
Then turn to page 208, lines 24 and 25.
I'm sorry, what, lines 24 and 25?
Lines 24 and 25, let me know when you've
I read them, thank you.
those. For context, this is at the scene, outside Fairview.
Yes,
And you told those grand jurors under oath, she asked, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Correct?
yes,
On page 208, lines 24 and 20, I'm sorry, 208 and 209, going on to page 209, lines 1 through 3. You actually recounted to the grand jurors a conversation that you said my client had with a female EMT standing right there, exactly as you testified to today.
You mean
female
Katie?
EMT.
You
See
mean
that?
Katie?
I do, yes.
And what did you say my client's statements were in front of that
Katie
female?
McLaughlin?
In this, I say that she said, could I have hit him? Is he dead?
It's actually, did I hit him?
Oh, sorry, I missed that part. I apologize. Did I hit him? Could I have hit him? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead?
And that was at the scene, in front of the female EMT, exactly the scene that you're describing. You attributed the 3 statements to my client to today, correct?
There was many different times when we were talking to different EMTs, the female EMT, the men, police officers.
May I approach?
Yes.
This is where like she won't give up blank, won't give up good, won't give up.
May I just hold your honor?
Sure.
Oh, there's gonna be the 5 minute.
Hit him. Could I have hit him? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? It was pretty nonstop, pretty much nonstop. That was your testimony in front of the grand jurors, correct?
Yes, it was.
And that was April 26th, 2022, correct?
Correct.
Not one time, Ms. McCabe, did you utter the phrase, I hit him, as it relates to my client in front of that grand jury on April 26th, 2022, did you? Not once.
I'd have to read through the 227 pages to see.
As you sit here today, do you remember ever saying to those grand jurors, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, in front of a female EMT?
I've spoken to in a few grand juries. What I said specifically at different ones, I don't recall at this moment, but I do know that morning your client said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him 3 times, and there was a female EMT there.
You spoke with Trooper Proctor just the same day, right, January 29th.
Yes,
Trooper Proctor was taking notes
yes,
about your conversation?
yes, he was.
You reviewed those notes, as a matter of fact, somewhere.
I didn't review his notes. I think I've seen a report at one point or another.
On that very day, January 29th, 2022, when you were asked to recount what happened at the scene, who was doing what and who said what? You never told Trooper Proctor that my client said, I hit him either, did you?
Oh, I told him. Yes, I did.
He just
Oh,
made
I
that out of
told
his
him.
report?
I'm not responsible for his report.
No, you're not, but you have read his report.
So
Not
again, no
responsible.
comments, Mr. Jackson.
You have read his report, right?
Blame Lanka.
I have seen it before,
Huh?
yes.
Blame Lanka.
Yep. She blames everybody.
May I approach her?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's pretty shitty.
For another particular sworn, do you still recognize it?
Yes, I do.
She held her own.
She held her own, but she also shit on Lanka.
Can you review that report, scan it,
And good.
and let me know
And
when you're done?
Proctor.
And
Okay, is there
good and
something
Proctor.
specific I should be
And the
looking for?
Kolakikis and
Right, so again,
and
jurors
Karen?
disregard the comments.
Oh,
It's
shit, I missed
question
one.
answer format only.
My
Shit.
question is, do you see the phrase?
I missed that one.
Can you review that report, scan it, and let me know when you're done.
Okay, is there something specific I should be looking for?
I don't think you're going to find it, Ms. McCabe.
So again, jurors disregard the comments. So it's
I
question
love
answer
that.
format.
That's
My
that's
question is,
priceless.
do you see the phrase?
Bev is so done. She's like, can we be done for the day, please?
Objection.
Because they knew it was getting so close.
Listen, this was always a duel.
Yeah.
It's a duel.
Yep. I purposely
Do you recall telling Trooper
was
Proctor,
sitting in traffic
my
on my
client said,
motorcycle
I did
listening to
him, I
this
did him?
because I didn't want to go too fast.
Yes, I told him.
He was taking notes at the time.
He was taking notes, correct?
Those notes ended up being memorialized in a formal report.
I'm assuming he.
The report still
Sustained.
does that appear to be a report of
Sustained.
January 29th, 11:35 until
I think she sustained almost all of them. I think she only gave him one or
it does.
two. where
She
said,
likes
"I'll
that
give him
word. She likes that word.
Sustained.
Yes, in the past.
And you're aware in no place in that report was the phrase, I didn't show up anywhere, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Can I approach?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm approaching this. Sorry.
May I approach? They went to go to sidebar, and he's like, "No, I just want to approach because I want to pick the paper back."
I have just a moment, Your Honor.
You need 5 minutes?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I want to draw your attention to the
No,
very
no.
early morning hours of January 29th, around 4:53 a.m. when you indicated you received that phone call from Kaylee's phone. Do you have that time and date in mind?
Yes, I do.
My client told you that John had not come home, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And you knew that Miss Reed at that point was awake and looking for John.
I didn't know what. I just knew that she was awake and screaming.
Right, because she was worried about where John was.
Sustained.
You've been
Sustained.
asked who you communicated with first thing that morning after you received that first call from Miss Reed, is that right?
Now
Yes.
she's leaning forward.
You were asked by Trooper Prince in her formal interview. Trooper Prince interviewed you on February 1st, about 3 days after the incident, correct?
I met with a lot. I don't really remember specific days.
Do you remember a female trooper?
Yes, I do actually.
In your house?
Yes.
Or I should say at your house?
Yes.
That was around 3 days after the incident?
Was it Tuesday maybe? Yeah.
She
I
asks
don't know.
just as many
I think so, yes,
questions
if it's the
back
one
to
thinking.
him than she answers.
You were also asked at the same grand jury who you communicated with on the morning of January 29th.
Okay.
Remember that?
Not specifically.
Nope.
Would it refresh your recollection if we were to take a look at that a specific page of that grand jury
This is
transcript?
the 5
Sure.
minutes. That's the 5 minutes. Oh, I gotta go over here. Do you need 5 minutes?
John, be right back. I need to prick some.
Go ahead. I'm gonna get right near the end.
All right.
Go ahead. Query.
Oh, well, at least he lifted up Cassie's for us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he wanted
Oh,
to
I
steal
had
some.
I had something all ready to go for.
He was just a local guy that I knew was friendly with.
And had gone to high school with?
No.
Was he
Lanka.
in high school?
We weren't in high school at the same time.
Yeah, he was about 5 years ahead of you, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. But you've known him or known of him from basically childhood or young adulthood.
Yeah, just knew him from around town.
At some point, you decided that you were going to call Sergeant Lank back to the scene because there was a piece of information that you wanted to provide him again. Provide him so he needed to come back again.
Yes.
Ultimately, you called him on his cell phone, right?
I did, yes.
So you were close enough that you had his cell phone number, he had your cell phone number.
No, I didn't have his cell phone number.
Where'd you get that number?
I asked Julie Albert for that number.
So Julie had his
Oh,
cell phone
Boozy.
number.
Yes, she did.
And Julie
So-
was Chris's wife?
Yes.
She was at the location?
Yes.
When I say the location, 34 Fairview that morning?
Yes.
As was Chris.
He came at some point. I don't know if he was there when I called Officer Lang or not.
As was Brian Higgins, correct?
So she didn't have Lanka's number. She said she got it from Julie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in a couple seconds, she's going to say, well, he said if there's anything I can remember to call him. Well, wouldn't he have given her his number when he said to call him?
Right,
or was
like
he
you're
just
telling
expecting
her
to?
anything.
Right. But she's going to say that in a minute.
Yes, he was.
He came back over to the location as well.
Yes, he did.
As a matter of fact, it was Brian Higgins who suggested that you reach out to Officer Lank.
I'm not sure if it was him who suggested it.
Someone suggested to you that you reach out to Officer Lank, is that right?
As I was sitting there remembering things, I believe, I can't say who did or didn't.
So as you were sitting there remembering things, you weren't just remembering things, you were remembering things and then telling others things that you remember.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yes.
others were absorbing whatever information you were providing to them and vice versa.
No one was really providing me any information because they didn't know what happened.
So you were, sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
you know
I was
what
just
happened.
Sitting there trying
She
to
was the
recount
information
what had
provider.
transpired since I got that
Exactly.
4:53 phone call.
And one of the things that you decided you wanted to
Allegedly.
tell Sergeant Lank was a statement by my client.
Yes.
So you call Sergeant Lank on his cell phone, and you're able to get a hold of him, correct?
Yes.
Whatever he's doing, I'm guessing he was busy at the time.
I don't know what he was doing.
He was the first responder on a death of a police officer case, which was hours old. So he had to get busy.
I would assume. I, again, don't know what he was doing.
But in fact, after you got your phone call, he dropped everything and headed back to 34 Fairview, correct?
Yes, he did.
Did he come back to 34 Fairview quickly?
He was there fairly quickly, yes, I would say.
That's your request.
Yes, I called him and asked him to come back.
Because you told him that you had information that was important enough that he needed to get over there so you could tell him in person.
Boozy, that was for you.
What happened?
With that pause.
What this new information was.
I called him and told him that I was remembering things and asked if he could come back.
She was remembering things.
He literally said, okay, I'm going to get in my car, drive in a blizzard. It was still a blizzard, right?
Yes, it was.
I'm going to get all my gear on, drive in a blizzard, back over to 34 Fairview, get out of my cruiser, come into the house, and get ready for this new information that you're going to give me, correct?
He did not say all that, no.
No, that's what he did.
I have no idea what he did. I called him and then he came.
Well,
That's.
he walked over. And he came over his car, right?
I would assume so, yes.
Right. So again, get in his car, drive over to the blizzard, get out of the car, walk through the blizzard, go to the front door, and get ready for this new meeting that he's going to have, correct?
Yes, that seems like steps one would take.
And whatever it was that you wanted to tell him, you let him know it was important enough to have a special additional meeting. It wasn't something that you were just going to sit on. You wanted to give him this information immediately without hesitation, correct?
He said if I remembered anything to give him a call, so I did.
So when he
There
came
it
back
is.
over, he obviously had a notepad and a pen in his hand, correct?
He said if I remembered anything to give him a call, but she didn't have his phone number. She had to get it from Julie.
He would have given her a card, right?
He would have given her a card, or he would have, or she should have called 911, like the friggin' audit says to do. No,
I mean, they could have just walked to his house at that rate.
I know.
And John,
Yeah.
for a townie, you
I know.
call 828
1212.
1212.
Yep.
Right?
Or you could call the business line if you didn't want to be recorded.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, if you've lived your entire life here, 828-1212 is going to get you to the police.
And 1313 fire.
You were just going to sit on. You wanted to give him this information immediately without hesitation, correct?
He said if I remembered anything to give him a call, so I did.
So when he came back over, he obviously had a notepad and a pen in his hand, correct?
I believe he was taking notes.
And you told him, you testified this morning that what you told him was Karen Reed said, I hit him, right?
Correct.
But when you wrote this report, you said, she said, I hope I didn't hit him. Correct?
I don't have his report in front of me.
OFC Kerry, I'm with you.
She didn't have anyone's report. Yeah, I was too. Unfortunately, we're going to be hearing more about Lanka and his service very soon.
Thank you.
I still hold out hope.
You could turn to the
That's
orange
all I'm
tab.
saying.
Yeah. Let's get through this real quick. Let me hold on.
Is that report right?
Your Honor.
Sustained. Move
Sustained.
on, Mr. Jackson.
I hope I didn't hit him, or something to the effect of, I hope I didn't hit him. Sounds an awful lot like, did I hit him? Did I hit him? Do you hear that?
That does sound similar, yeah.
Yeah. She looks a little like Heidi Klum now. Could be the Prixons.
You testified yesterday that during that first phone call, that first phone conversation with Ms. Reed at 4:53 a.m., she told you, according to your testimony, that in that phone call, in that very first phone call, Ms. Reed said she had gotten into a fight, her taillight was cracked, and she asked, could I have hit him or did I hit him? Correct?
Incorrect.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
The first phone call, she had said we got into a fight
It's
and
the
he didn't
second
come home
phone
and I left him at the waterfall. In the second phone call, once I told her that I saw her outside of my sister's house on Fairview, that is when she said, could she have hit him, and talked about her taillight.
So 2 hours after Ms. Reed found John O'Keefe and began giving him CPR, you were interviewed by Sergeant Sean Good, correct?
Objection.
Ask the question differently, Mr. Jackson.
2 hours after
What's
Ms.
wrong with
Reed
that
found
question?
John
Yeah.
What the frig? What was wrong with that question?
We got to ask it different.
giving him CPR. Ms. Reed found John O'Keefe and began giving him CPR. You were interviewed by Sergeant Sean Good, correct?
Objection.
Ask the question differently, Mr. Jackson.
2 hours after Ms. Reed found Mr. O'Keefe, about 2 hours later, say 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. after the scene was cleared, you were interviewed by Sean Good, were you not?
Objection.
Sustained.
What the
Further
fuck?
approach, Your Honor?
It's because of the hours. That's why.
Why?
They would have to question her about the time frame and the hours in order to allow in
While
the
you were at
hours
the scene.
of the question.
So they got to put stuff before that.
After Miss Reed had been giving CPR.
See?
Sean Good interviewed you, correct?
I don't remember a formal interview with Sean Good.
Do you remember talking to him?
When he arrived at the scene, I do remember briefly talking to him after all three of us gave John CPR.
And he
No,
gave you,
it's on dash cam footage, you dumb
he
fuck.
asked you certain questions about
Oh my
what
God,
you'd seen,
drives up a
what
wall.
you'd heard, what had happened, correct?
Here's the other thing.
I have to tell
This-
you that I
this
remember
news
seeing him there. And I
channel
remember talking to him, but I do not
Gave
remember
her
specifics of any
almost like
conversation
they
or any
barely
questions
ever
that he
went
asked
to
me.
him
Do you remember him
during the
telling you,
whole.
I'm sorry, do
See,
you remember him asking you
it
about
was
the
on
initial
her
calls you
almost
had,
the
and you
whole
telling him about
time.
that 453
What do you
call
mean?
and the early morning calls thereafter?
So
the initial calls
in
before you
prior
met up with
trials, it went back
I
and
don't
forth.
recall.
You'd see
Did you
Jackson
tell
or
Sergeant
Yannetti
Good-
a
By
little
the way,
bit.
Sergeant
You'd
Oh,
see
they
her.
moved to
Sergeant
her. Yeah,
It was on her the whole
By the
time.
way, you knew Sergeant Good, did you not?
I didn't know
Depends on
anything
who
of
the
him, but I
feed
knew
was
his
coming,
name,
right?
but that
Is
was
it one
How'd you know
feed
that?
for everybody
That's what I
or
did.
multiple?
Because his sister is a year or two younger
I
than me,
think
and I knew
there's
she had a
more
brother
than
that was
one
younger, that was a camp
Yeah.
cop, just blew the town, but I didn't know him.
Okay, friendly but not friends.
I wouldn't even say I was friendly with him.
Okay.
She wasn't friendly with Good. Good, no good.
That's a lie.
Good, no good.
You actually told
Goody.
Sergeant
No
Good at the
fucking
time
good.
when he asked about those first phone calls that when Miss Reed called you, she was inquiring about John's whereabouts, correct?
Again, I don't recall my conversations with Sean Good.
You certainly never mentioned to Sergeant Good the incessant screaming and hysteria that you've described here in court.
7 minutes left.
Did you ever
Here we go.
mention anything about an argument or a fight to Sean Good?
Objection.
Sustained, Mr. Jackson. She said she didn't remember. Next question.
She doesn't remember. Move on.
Series of machinations. I don't know what she remembers or doesn't remember.
Oh shit.
Next question, Mr. Jackson.
No.
Did you mention anything about
No,
the
sorry.
fact- I don't-
If you look at her facial
For him, like I knew
expressions,
his name,
she's,
but that was it.
How'd you know
she's
about
not as confident
that
as
day?
she was
Because his
earlier.
sister is a year or two younger than me, and I knew
Right.
she had a brother that was younger, that was a Canton cop, just blew the town, but I didn't know him.
Okay, friendly but not friends.
I wouldn't even say I was friendly with him.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end of this whole thing, she
You actually
forgot
told-
everything.
Sergeant Good at the time when he asked about those first phone calls that when Miss Reed called you, she was inquiring about John's whereabouts, correct?
Again, I don't recall my conversations with Sean Good.
You certainly never mentioned to Sergeant Good the incessant screaming and hysteria that you've described here in court.
Objection.
Objection.
Did you ever
Sustained.
mention anything about an argument or a fight to Sean Good?
Objection.
Sustained.
Mr. Jackson. She said she didn't remember. Next question.
I have to go through the series of machinations. I don't know what she remembers and doesn't remember.
She doesn't remember talking to Good.
Mr. Jackson.
Jackson was
Did you
Jackson
mention anything
taking
about
note for an
a
answer.
cracked taillight to Sergeant Good?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you have no memory at all about what you talked to Sergeant Good about?
There were many officers there,
Right.
and like I said, I know I talked to Sergeant Good, but I do not remember the specifics of my
So now they're trying to
conversation
protect
during
the
that
Canton
chaotic
police.
scene.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Let me ask a different question. There were many officers there, and many officers were asking you questions, correct?
Correct.
Did you ask, did you tell any officer while at the scene that during those first few phone calls, first couple of phone calls with Miss Reed, that there was incessant screaming and hysteria?
Again, there were many officers asking me questions. Most of them were regarding who John was, if he had medical issues or concerns, things like that.
Right.
It was a chaotic scene. I don't remember any specific questions about phone calls. I apologize.
But you did tell at least one officer about the initial phone call that you received indicating that John may be missing, correct?
I possibly said I got a phone call and that's why I'm here. We all came out to look for him. I apologize for not remembering specifics.
Apologize.
Did
There's
you
the
tell
apology
any
again.
officer
So many.
at the scene
So
anything
many,
about an
so
argument
many,
or
and she
fight
forgot everything.
that
The
Miss
last
Reed
10
said
minutes, she
occurred on
knows
that
he's down to the
first
wire
couple
now.
of phone
She
calls?
knows it's almost 4 o'clock.
Again, the conversations were
Boozy,
very
I'm
brief
sorry
and
that
they were
your
with a lot of
shoulders
different
are
officers.
not off.
There
It's
wasn't
yes or no?
in-depth
I know. It looks like
Yes or no?
Jen
Better answer.
gnawing your shoulder off.
Kinda
Do
is-
you recall? That is a yes or no question.
And
Do
Boozy
you
turned around
recall
behind her
telling
like
any
you're-
officer
like she's-
Look at her.
about
Like she's really there.
conversation in the initial couple of phone calls that you had with Miss
That was
Reed
awesome.
about fighting
Yeah.
Good for you.
or being in an argument.
Yep.
Do you recall that?
I cannot answer yes
Cheers.
or no.
Yeah. She knows.
either do or you
Down to the
Don't
minute.
say
They
no.
knew.
Many different conversations.
There's got to be a
I'm not
clock.
sure.
She must be able to see a
So
clock
you don't
in there.
recall
I'm not sure on specific conversations about that. I apologize.
Is there a reason why you're not telling us that you simply don't recall making that statement?
Sustained.
Do you recall telling any officer
Sustained.
about a cracked taillight that came up in one of those first 2 phone calls?
At the scene,
At the scene.
again, I think all the conversations were about what was happening in the present time.
And literally, this was a couple of hours after this incident, correct? When everything was freshest in your mind.
These conversations were at the scene when Miss Reed was running around screaming.
She's on her game.
Were you also
on her
interviewed by
game.
Officer
She knew.
Mullaney?
Again, there were
I don't
many
remember.
officers
I don't
there
remember
that I
Mullaney.
spoke to.
Ms. McCabe, do you understand my question? Did you understand the last question I asked you?
If I spoke to an officer Mullaney,
Correct.
again, I could have. I am not sure. I don't remember every officer. It was a chaotic scene. I had just found my friend on the ground.
So the answer is, I don't remember.
I don't remember speaking to him. No, sorry.
He must have been so frustrated this last 5 minutes.
Good for him for putting it that way, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Later
it's
that
simple.
morning-
I don't remember.
Right.
You did have a conversation with Officer Lank that you actually do remember, correct?
Yes.
Let's hope.
Hey, here we go.
All right.
What you told Officer Lank, or Sergeant Lank, was that you received a phone call from Kaylee's phone and that Karen Reed was distraught because John never came home, correct?
I told him she was, I don't remember the exact words, but I told him something
almost
like
did.
she was hysterical and screaming and said John never came home.
You never mentioned that she said anything about a fight during that initial phone call, correct?
Again, I'm not sure what exactly was said during that initial phone call.
She doesn't remember anything.
You never
Better with the
mentioned that
cross.
she said something about a
Other
cracked
than,
taillight.
I hit him, I
in that
hit him, I
initial
hit him.
phone call or those 2 phone calls, correct?
These phone calls with who?
With Lank.
Who are these phone calls? Who am I speaking
The
to at this
initial
point?
phone calls that you had with Miss Reed,
Yes.
you never mentioned to Officer Lank or Sergeant Lank that Miss Reed mentioned anything about a fight or an argument, correct?
I don't remember.
You don't. You never mentioned anything about having Miss Reed saying anything about a cracked taillight in one of those 2 initial phone calls, correct?
Again, I don't remember all the things that I told Officer Lank.
And you
Sorry.
certainly never mentioned that Miss Reed said anything about could I have hit him during in either of
Does
those
she
initial
apologize
phone
to
calls,
each and
correct?
every juror on her way
Again,
out?
I don't remember my specific conversation
Sorry.
with Officer
I'm
Lank.
sorry.
Right?
I know. Shakes each one
So
hand.
you don't remember the conversation that you had with Officer Lank when it was the clear light of day. You had had a chance to take a beat and a breath, catch your breath, because it's now 11:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't remember anything about that conversation, but according to your testimony, you remember in detail what my client said, waking you out of a dead sleep. Correct?
So I didn't speak to him at 11:30. It was earlier in the morning when he came back to
9.
Fairview.
Let's call it 9 o'clock, whatever.
Is it?
Okay.
Right?
Hear the cough?
It wasn't the same chaos as
Mine?
my client
No, there was a cough
screaming
in
into
the.
the phone that John never came home, waking you out of a dead sleep, correct?
Correct.
But when you recounted that conversation or those conversations to Sergeant Lank, you didn't say a thing about Miss Reed saying that there had been an argument, did you?
I'm saying I don't remember the specifics of my conversation with Officer Lank. I'm also saying that I was woken up out of a dead sleep. Karen showed up at my house screaming. I went out to help her look for John. And then we found one of my closest friends on the
we
front
go.
lawn. And she was saying crazy things and acting crazy and
Ms. McCabe,
acting
that's not my
erratic.
question.
And so every
Ms. McCabe,
police
that
officer
is not
that
my
I
question.
spoke to,
Let her finish.
every police officer that I spoke to, I tried to answer their questions the best I could. It took me hours and in some cases days to remember all the things that Miss Reed had said. My mind, I was in a state of shock. But the minute I remembered, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. I called Officer Lank.
And your memory's getting better even as we sit here today, correct?
There are certain things I will never forget, Mr. Jackson.
Including the fact that you never, ever, ever said hit him to a grand jury when you were asked about it 3 months after the incident? Correct?
She said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit
You
him.
never told that to the grand jury, did you?
I don't remember specifically that every grand jury and everything I said, but I can tell you
Every
with
grand jury.
100% accuracy, she screamed, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
And you never said that to the grand jurors.
I don't recall if I
You were
did.
there to get the truth, correct?
The truth is, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
You were asked that specific question at the grand jury. What did she say at the scene in front of the female EMT? And you know what your answer was? You do, because you just read it.
I wasn't asked what she was said at the
What was the
scene.
answer to that question?
I'm objecting.
The objection sustained. Ask one more clear question, Mr. Jackson.
What was the answer you gave in answer to the question about what was said by Miss Reed to the EMT, the female EMT at the scene? What did you say she said?
I don't know if I was asked specifically what she said to a female EMT.
All right, we're going to end this now.
Your Honor, may I have one more question?
Go ahead.
I can't end it like this.
Can't end it like this.
Okay, jurors, ignore the comments of
End it
counsel.
like
Ask
this.
one question,
Oh,
Mr. Jackson.
You said that she said,
I know.
could I have hit him? Did I hit him in the presence of the female EMT? That's what you testified to under oath at the grand jury, isn't it?
Yes, because she also said that.
All right. So, folks,
John,
Woo! Holy fuck!
John,
What?
that's the first round. Hagler Hearns.
Dude,
Mano,
that
mano.
that
Oh
right there,
My goodness.
that right there, she freaking counterpunched that last 5 minutes. She didn't give it up.
No.
Nope.
No, that was
Not
a
at all.
battle.
That
was the battle of
was
battles.
that was a battle, and I'll tell you, literally, that was two prize fighters slugging it out, and she's looking at the clock, right? She thinks she's ahead on the card, all right, and she's just moving.
I bet you Alan Jackson's saying, "Wow, she came."
He's probably
She came
I tell
at
you.
me more than I thought she would.
Yeah. And then there was a point. So Nancy, does he only have a certain amount of time that he can cross-examine her?
No, but I think the judge can cut him down when she's ready.
Because there was a point today where she asked Brennan, "Are we still on time?" And he says, "Yes."
Yeah, they're trying to keep the jury to a specific amount of time.
Yeah. Wow. I'll
so
tell you.
It, at least trying to keep it within range.
Yeah. That was just. We got to get Boozy back in the middle once she gets back in here. Hold on. We go like
Hey,
that.
Gary Titus used to live up there.
Live up where?
Right? See Elsie's Elsie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
See that window? I think Gary lived up top there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Back in the day. I mean, it's been a long time.
And his brother lived behind there too.
He's a lifelong townie.
Yeah. I think she took the dog out. She might have taken the dog out.
That's all right. The dog, dog's got to
So people, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think she hold her own? Did she friggin' I'm telling you, I was listening to that and I was just like, she was frustrating him. Oh, I gotta move my thing if I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I think she was frustrating him. And I don't think he was prepared for her to be that combative.
You know something? I think both of them knew going into it was going to be a brawl, and we got a brawl. We got a brawl. I mean, that was kudos to Jen. She spent the whole day answering every single question.
You're right. She sat
right or wrong.
She sat there all day.
She took the pounding. And
she gave it back to him with question after
100%.
I mean, it was question after question back. It's almost, Jen looked like garbage by not being
I'm not
able to
going to
answer
tell
some
you that
questions like you.
Alan Jackson wasn't effective, because he was
Oh yeah,
extremely effective.
he was, but she was
She
just as
pushed
effective.
back as much as she could and did well.
She asked for clarification. She
Yep.
asked to see the papers. She asked to, without, excuse me, without saying, could you rephrase it, please? She pretty much, like, it was like that the whole time.
And she's testifying early on in the process. We probably have another month.
Mizzy thought
month
she
and a
was.
half?
Mizzy thought she was worse last time.
Yeah,
so he knew
because
what
she was.
gonna be like.
I think you're right, Mizzy, because she was so combative last time. This time, she knew when to strike and then when to kind of be cunning.
She was apologizing the majority of the day. It wasn't until those last 5 minutes.
She never said "I'm sorry" in the last testimony. This time, she said it a dozen times. I bet.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it was just
good for her.
you
I mean,
knew
hey,
she was
you know
she was
something?
milking that clock right at the end. She
You
knew
know
it.
me. I don't agree with her at all. But I respect
Opal,
how
it's not
she
tomorrow.
testified.
Opal, it's not tomorrow. There's no court tomorrow.
No, day off.
Yeah. She was well prepped. And I'll tell you, she was probably
She was
far.
well prepped because that's who she is.
And that's been her life for the last 2 years. Right?
And I don't say that trying to demean her. That's just she's a strong-willed woman.
Yeah.
Person. Doesn't matter. Man, woman, strong-willed. 100%.
She's better than Matt. Okay. Yeah,
Well,
rope-a-dope. Yeah, it was the rope-a-dope. Literally the rope-a-dope.
Yeah, that's
what she was
strong.
doing. He was throwing the haymakers and she was bouncing off the ropes. It's exactly what that was. I'd like to know where she left and she didn't even tell us where she was going.
Listen, she might be walking the dog.
It's a husky. You put it in the backyard.
Put one of those rings around it so it glows in the dark. So you know.
I have that on my dog, my shepherd. Every time we let him go out, he's got one of those glow in the dark collars.
Have you never heard what happens to huskies?
Good. While you're back, I just realized I have to give my dog some water.
Hi, Boozy.
He just went to the
I
bowl.
literally have been lying here like.
You've been underneath there the whole time?
He's been texting me. Do you know where Boozy went?
I literally have to give Dylan some water. I will be right back.
Tired.
It's a long day. Hey, we got tomorrow off. There's no court tomorrow. Take your time.
Oh, hey.
Relax.
She's eating my head now. She's eating my head.
Hold on.
We're gonna go through withdrawals tomorrow.
Not me.
Now you're gonna sleep.
No, I got clients.
You got business to
I
happen.
got business to do. Oh, he has a jerk towel.
Oh yeah, look at that. The young jerkers.
I just got the husky down and you hear one bark. You stay down.
That's jerk shirt. Not it should it could be a jerk towel, but it's a jerk
Could be
shirt.
a jerk towel. I literally look like I have no body right now.
No, it looks like you're getting vampired.
I literally look like I'm just a head on a cover.
Yeah. You're chopped off. You're chopped off at the shoulders.
I really help me. Help. What is he doing?
Jonathan,
I think we can say good night now.
are we ready?
I'm tired.
Yeah, well, he's got secrets to tell us.
I can literally hear Dylan drinking a fuck ton of water right now.
So the 1,085 people that are watching right now, so it says on YouTube, and I mean, it's probably not that. But I shouldn't say that. It's StreamYard. You're all going to have to wait for John's little whatever he's going to tell us later. He's going to have to wait.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I don't know what he's going to tell us.
He had a smirk on his face, like, wait until you hear what I got to say.
Oh my God, I can see the full image of myself on the side of my corner, and I literally look like I'm just a head.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know.
It really looks.
I don't know.
Boozy, it looks weird. It
Wait,
looks.
put me up for a second. Show chat. You show
I might need to do this. Or
Oh, wrong. Oh no, wrong
oh,
one.
look at that.
Wrong one. No. No.
Wait a minute. I gotta get rid of that. There you are. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh God.
There you are. There it is.
If you can pull, how do you pull up the whole thing though?
Jonathan,
What?
help us out here.
What do you
Put me
need?
in a square for a second. Oh no.
You want a square?
Oh, up, up,
Well, yeah, get a square.
up.
Oh, that's good though. That's not bad.
No. Oh, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Did you see my? Did you see
You
my?
see that? You see that? Boozy's
Did you
been
see my leave
decapitated?
screen? Did you see my leave screen?
He literally doesn't care, Eric. He gives no fucks.
Listen, I just learned to talk over him now. He
Eric,
tried
did
to
you
talk
see-
over me. I'm gonna
Eric,
talk over
Eric,
him.
Did you see my
Yep.
leave screen?
I did. You're a jerk.
you.
You're a young jerk.
You my young jerks.
You are a young jerk. You.
Hey, so I got up to give the dog some food and some water, and of course, once you get up, then other things happen, and it just occurred to me that the male organ in which you have to relieve yourself is in the total wrong place. It should be down by your ankles, so that like when you're out in nature, when you walk, you can just relieve yourself and nobody.
John,
Yeah.
how many millions of years do you think men have been relieving themselves?
Yeah, but it's inconvenient.
No.
Look at dogs.
No.
They got to lift a leg.
No,
they got to go against a bush or a tree, all this
is all
stuff.
you,
right?
buddy. This is
But
all
if it was
you.
down by your ankle, right?
Okay, we need to end. This is getting nuts.
If it was
Okay.
at your ankle, you could just kind of stand next to a bush and no one ever know.
Boozy, we need
They
to
would know.
finish this off, though. I mean, come on.
You never know.
Too much.
At least I'm not milking women.
Can we call George and
Boozy.
Okay.
No. So
Okay.
my brother and I, there is a whole episode on Brothers in Cars.
Oh my
Because
God.
I came up with an idea. Well, it wasn't an idea. I actually think that the dairy farms are trying to pull one over on us, that they're trying to make money off of us. We're the only creature that drinks another creature's milk.
Okay, can
What do
we
you mean?
please stop?
Right.
We
Yeah,
need to
we
go.
saying.
It's bedtime.
We gotta go.
We
Hey,
gotta-
Hey guys, everybody,
nice-
listen.
Yeah.
So let's wait. Let's give them all the updates. No show Sunday,
Saturday though.
Saturday, and well, we're in the works for something real big. We just got to lock it down, and it's gonna be Lanka.
Is that the title?
That's the Lanka. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
And
nutty
it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be fun. That's probably going to be my favorite one.
Boozy,
Oh, and
are
then
you
next
gonna be
month,
here Saturday for the show. Lanka.
if we can get, I hope it's for this Saturday. We got two. It's one, possible two, and it's going to be two awesome guests. So, it's going to be so good.
Is
It's
one
probably
gonna
going to
be
be
like an attorney.
okay. Let's not give everything away.
Boozy, we might as well tease it a little bit.
Tease it. No, Kiki, but you know what? I'll tell you what. It's very good, and just you know what I mean. It's free Karen Reed.
So if we're not here, it means that we've been talking to our attorneys.
Yeah. So hey, guys, I guess so Saturday night. I guess we'll do a show Saturday night. Oh wait, no, I can't do Saturday night. I won't be here Saturday night.
ACDC is Sunday, not Saturday.
Yeah, but then I just got invited to something else while I was on the show. I did. I'm gonna be somewhere.
All right, folks.
I'm a passenger princess.
You're all
on Saturday.
screwed.
I'm a passenger
You're out.
princess on Saturday, whatever that means. Yeah.
Boozy, we're taking.
I'm
over.
going to Tequila Fest.
Where's that?
Look at her, raised her head up right.
It is at, let's see. It's awesome. You get free shots and free food for 3
I used to work in
hours.
I work in the industry. I know exactly what a fest is. Okay.
My wife just took her head off the pillow.
It's at it's on a reservation. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on a reservation.
Close in Connecticut or Massachusetts?
Yes. No.
Oh, it's too far.
Yeah, my wife's in. She's in.
Somebody's got 2 tickets. Yeah, to the tequila.
Hey,
fest.
there's some kind of party going on Friday night, by the way. You going?
Oh, wait a minute. So that's Saturday night. So people, I guess we'll see you when we'll see you, because I have a full ass weekend. I got to take a lot of naps. So Saturday, and I don't even like tequila. Jeez, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna watch.
Yeah, bullshit.
I'll be
Don't
sitting.
even stop.
I'll be in the seat chair. All right. So
Hey,
everybody,
by the way,
yeah.
Cassie's store, they sell scratch tickets that win more than 1,000.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's like every week they have a winner.
Do they have like a wall of scratch tickets?
Yeah.
I
And
don't
slush
know.
puppies. Slush puppies.
They do have slush puppies. I remember, and they used to have the Swedish fish that you could buy. Like, remember when they used to put the bags? Remember when you used all those the penny candies? So Boozy. There was Jim's Variety, which it was
We
in Canton
need
Center.
to end the stream. It's
We'll
11:11.
be real quick. We'll be real quick.
Boozy.
We'll be real quick.
That place behind me, that was my first job. My father came home. I was 13 years old. He said, "Hey, Kevin, he wants you to work for him."
Wow.
Yeah. But it was no Jim's Variety. So we would go to CCD. The bus would drop you off at the church, right? You go to school. The bus would drop you off at the church. And what you did is you would run up past D&E up to Jim's Variety, run in. Penny candy, and you'd give him, and he'd count out all the fish for you, put them in a little twisty bag, like a dime bag. It literally was like a dime bag of.
What do you mean by
Swedish
dime
fish. Yeah, right? Or whatever. There was all the different penny candies you get. Then you would race right back down to the church so you could go to your CCD. Yeah.
You're a king, guy.
So I actually have the closing all ready to go. So as soon as I hit end
Boozy.
stream. Hey, well, Boozy, stay to the end, but everybody else, thank you for, hey, anyone that donated, thank you so much. Anybody that stayed and watched us, thank you so much. And anyone that commented, you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you so much.
We
Boozy,
love you all.
Thank you. Eric, thank you.
Live from Canton, it's the place to be with John C. and Eric D. They've got the scoop, the laughs, the drive. It's time for Canton Chronicle Live. But wait, what's this? The script's gone rogue. A twist so wild it broke the code. Tonight's the night, so raise your noise. It's Boozy and the boys. Boozy's taking charge, the queen of the scene, with sass, class, and a martini sheen. John and Eric, just background noise on Boozy and the boys. So grab your drink, your tea, your vibe. It's chaos, truth, and a Canton tribe. One night only, so don't miss the ride. It's Canton Chronicle, Lois.